On this episode, we watch The Reflections.
An anime on like Avatar and Ruby.
Anime is anime, and cartoons are cartoons.
Excelsior!
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Daijou Crew with the host that we have always left you with in previous weeks. It is I, Sigurd, and his boon companions.
I'm the Ace Attorney. She Julian.
Hello, true believer. It's your boy Stan Lee. Excelsior!
God damn
I'm
it.
sorry.
Oh, we have Stan Lee on the
I was about to
podcast.
say, oh, Stan, how's it going, Stan?
I'm sorry. I'm an imposter. I'm just your your
it's
comic book know-it-all here.
Bring back Stan. Can
Okay,
you grab
hey,
him again?
Okay, hold on. Hey, Stan! Hey, Stan! Yes, Wall.
So, Stan, we're a little bit excited. There's a lot of Marvel movies coming out. What can you tell us about the Black Panther?
On this week of Amazing Spider-Man, Excelsior!
Yeah, that's the answer I expected.
Well, he's definitely getting older. So, thanks, Stan. You can take off now.
Okay, bye. All right, Stan's gone.
I feel like he wouldn't have said bye. I felt like you would just shout
I said
Excelsior.
Excelsior again.
As he
But
left.
Hold on. I didn't hear him close the door. Excelsior! There we go.
All right, cool. Yeah. Hi, guys. It's
Wow.
another episode of the Daijou Crew, and we
Freestyling it.
definitely were feeling a little bit Excelsius. I don't know, extra,
Inebriated.
because what we just watched was definitely something that a lot of people would say is not anime. If I told people that this is an anime, $10 they wouldn't believe me.
Well, yeah, because there's no animation.
They would probably just stop watching the podcast because we don't know anything about anime then.
Yeah, this is definitely not a qualifier for what most people believe anime is, but it is an anime. It was the anime The Reflection, which was a collaborative project between Stan Lee and, I don't know, Japan.
Yeah, that's good enough.
I think it's also some Chinese company too.
Oh, was it Tencent?
No, it wasn't 10
It wasn't. There was not
I'm
10
pretty sure it was
cents.
Chinese animations.
I think it would have been better if it was Tencent. So,
You think wrong.
It would be 10 times worse.
all right. So, let's talk about what do we do on this podcast, guys?
We just make fun of each
Prevent
other and talk
Sigurd
about
from
things.
ending his life.
God.
But make Julian contemplate his.
We make horrible life decisions.
As true as that
I
is,
don't. No.
we are a bad anime review podcast, and by bad anime we mean anime that wasn't really well received and gets like a meta score of not very great. So we went
I'm
with the
surprising
reflections.
the things that are allowed to get sixes.
Well, yeah, because
Some things definitely deserve to be lower than that.
last week's
You people need to up your standards.
last week's anime Cheer Fruits was around the sixes, and I mean we all generally enjoyed that one.
Yeah, but then there's the other side of the spectrum that we really didn't enjoy them as a six.
That's true too.
6 out of 10 is really 50-50. Like, it could either be good or bad.
I just think that they had that song that 3 is the magic number. 6 might be the actual magic number. You don't know
if
what you're
trying
gonna
to
get.
not fail class.
That's true. Yeah, you could pass with the 6.
Yeah, no.
Anyways,
Some of these definitely deserve 5.9s.
I guess we should just go right into it, right? Go on to the next segment where we tell you guys
Who the
exactly
X-Men are? 'Cause
what
I don't know.
or where the X-Men are,
What?
where they are. They're missing.
Is Carmen San Diego an X-Man?
It could be.
Where on earth is X-Men?
We're
What
in
are X-Men?
What? Anyways, no, none of that.
If only Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite had X-Men in it, I might understand who they are.
They actually thought that maybe that this past game is a prequel to regular Marvel's Capcom 3. Some people are spouting that.
How is 3 after Infinity?
Well,
Like, number-wise.
I mean,
How is Metal Gear Solid 3 after 2?
You got me there.
no, thanks, because I was going to have to spoil in order for me to connect it. But anyways, that's not what we're doing here. We're going on to our next
Yes,
segment.
we don't
where
review bad video games.
We're going on to our next segment.
Trying to lose fans?
There's a lot of people that play that game. But anyways, going on to our next segment, the one where we tell you exactly what happened in this anime so you don't have to suffer through it, otherwise known as
What Happened?
Are we?
No.
No. Why?
It looks like I got the script wrong. Sorry, guys.
You didn't get the memo.
Yeah, what happened?
Well, you see, one of the boon companion didn't
Okay,
want to
we're
do
not
it.
actually going to go into that. So, anyways, the reflection starts off with a very heroic intro sequence that made me think I was about to actually watch a Marvel film. Right?
Did it? Was it a bunch of pages flipping down?
It basically felt like that.
I don't
They just kind
remember.
of zoomed in on letters of R-E-S. You don't know what they're spelling yet.
Oh, was this the actual opening?
Yeah.
Did we have that? I don't remember.
I thought
Yeah,
it
they
did.
kind of did.
Anyways,
briefly.
the have some kind of mayor, I don't know, like spouting about how the people will never be forgotten. And then some crazy
it
protester.
opened up with those girls putting fire lanterns
Lanterns.
in the water on boats.
Oh, that's true too. In different
Japanese
parts
thing.
of the world. Yeah. No?
Yeah. I don't think it was just
Yeah,
Japan
they
that
were
we
in
saw.
Japan, and then they were like, hey, this is happening in New York.
Oh, yeah. And then they brought us to the mayor's speech where he says people will never be forgotten. And then some girl lights herself on fire, it looks like. And she says, you guys are wrong. We're already forgotten. And
Did
I'm
that
here to.
scene really happen in the beginning?
Yeah.
I remember seeing it like near the end.
Well, anyways.
Crazy.
While this is happening, some body once told me, but no.
That's what I was going for too.
Yeah, I
but
know. I saw your face.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
The
Well, I
she
did, but-
she takes over the podium as the mayor like scoots out of the way, and
Yeah, you don't want to get too close to people on fire.
yeah, and they didn't want to put her out apparently. So they all back away, and she's like, "No, I'm actually a reflected, and you guys have tossed us aside in society, but we're here to remind you that we are here." And
We gonna get you.
some people in hoods, Assassin's Creed style, starts running amok. And it looks like things are about to start before all of a sudden some Batman, but not the Batman, comes flying through.
Okay, which Batman are you talking about? The Man Bat or Batman?
It's different, Sigurd. Got things
Because we got both of those here.
Wait, I thought he was the same person the entire time.
Man-Bat?
Man-Bat. Man-Bat was, yeah, Man-Bat. He was
Yeah,
a
and-
Batman. Okay, Man-Bat. It was a Man-Bat.
So Batman is a guy dressed as a bat,
Uh-huh.
but Man-Bat is a bat kind of disguised as a human.
All right. So, yeah, no, well, then this guy's definitely
It's an
Man-Bat.
anthropomorphic bat.
Anthropomorphic bat? You mean
Basically, is what
a
Man
bat
is.
exhibiting human behavior?
No, he has legs.
Oh, okay. So, all right, then this is definitely Man-Bat.
Okay, so
and
Man Bat.
Man-Bat starts flying in, screaming at the world, and there's a chameleon.
He's a frog.
There's a frog.
I thought so.
Well, he also blended in with the background, so
Yeah,
it could be both.
He changed colors.
Well, maybe there are some frogs that can do that.
Anyway, the animation was kind
He
of
had
weird.
the tongue. Or I guess chameleons have tongues.
Yeah, right?
I don't know.
Anyways,
whatever.
a
It doesn't
reptile.
matter. It doesn't matter.
He was some sort of lizard person.
Yeah, he was a lizard
He
guy.
was some jobber.
And something that looked like Iron Man starts flying.
No, something
through
like
the sky.
Batman.
No, that
That
was,
one's Batman.
No, he was Iron Man for sure, dude.
He
was
was
Batman.
Batman Nightfall, the armored Batman.
Okay, armored Batman then starts flying through the sky as the 80s hit song, apparently, in this universe, Sky Show.
You know, 100%. I thought this was a real song that I'd heard before.
Really?
I thought
Yeah.
so too. I thought it was a real
I
song.
was like, where did this come from? I know this song. What song is this?
Anyways, something about an aeroplane and believe in the sky, and then just everyone's favorite tagline that the people on the ground were screaming, Sky Show. La da 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 da.
Were people really screaming that?
Yeah,
I-
they
Yeah,
were
no, they were
started
like-
screaming,
you're like-
Sky
yeah.
Show, Sky Show.
That's why I actually thought his name was Sky Show, because everyone kept saying Sky Show, Sky Show.
Yeah,
remember
and so he
screaming.
started shooting lasers from his hand, and they were always green. And yeah, action sequence happens. He's fighting Man Bat and Jobber Lizard, and the panels of windows around them were changing to the, I don't know, how do you say it, the situations that they were in.
It was like comic backgrounds.
Yeah, like he
Comic
punched
book
him and it went
backgrounds.
pow, and there was a zap
Thwack.
and a zoink, you know.
Swap.
And then, yeah, I don't know, he saved the day. Meanwhile, while he was doing that, some redheaded girl was skulking around the alleys and
Mary Jane was taking pictures of Spider-Man.
Yeah, she found some other like
World reversal, huh?
red sorry, red hero looking. I don't know. It looked like Skeletor in a fishbowl.
No,
was talking.
it was
to
like
the Scooby-Doo,
The space monster.
Scooby-Doo dude.
Yeah, remember there was like a Scooby-Doo villain where like he's like a skeleton space astronaut. Like he had the fishbowl and skeleton face or whatever. I
The
forgot
episode took place on an airfield, and the elephant laughed, or the
elephant.
The elephant laughed.
the monster laughed like.
Whoa!
You don't remember that?
No.
Well, I'll show you, man.
I know that your guys' cartoon knowledge has definitely expanded for this episode, but that's impressive. That you
Man,
guys
when
remember
Either way,
you
Scooby-Doo
I
see that
ones.
Scooby-Doo episode 40 times in
Damn.
like three days. Yeah.
It's a well-known monster, I guess, but I think either description will work. Skeletor, Scooby-Doo monster.
fighting
with hydro powers.
when you remember Teen Titans?
Yeah, Red X.
Yeah, Red X.
That's what I thought this
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Yeah, there was a guy dressed almost exactly like Red X,
But he was completely red.
Yeah, he was actually completely red, and
no skull,
X
I
on
guess.
his face.
and he started just like I don't know. Skeletor was like, "I guess I'm gonna make you famous," and then starts attacking him, and he has like
There was this dude without a shirt just slumped against the wall
yeah
who
he
didn't get noticed at all.
Skeletor is a waterbender. And he just uses his water bending powers to make a water blade.
No, he had water sword.
Yeah, water sword.
He had a water sword battle chip.
Oh, and then so X-Man, Mega Red X, touches him and steals his power. Well, not steals.
Copies.
Copies. He took his battle chip too.
Super fighting robot. Exxon.
That's what I'm saying. Was it Mega Man? Was that the theme song?
The actual single?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Fighting robot. Mega Man. All right. So yeah.
Fighting to save the world.
And so they start water blading, and then Spider-Man or Tape Man, whichever you want to call him. There's a guy that shoots a purple
Tentacle.
tentacle around the redheaded girl.
Oh,
Now
really?
she's really in a bind.
Shut up.
She can't take her pictures, so she thinks really hard and teleports real quick.
Yep.
Teleport like a foot away.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Whoa, I'm cool." And Mega Man touches Tape Man and gains tape power, and starts using tape power and water blade. What's that called when you combine chips again? Advanced program? Yeah, program
But that
advance.
wasn't a program advance.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He
didn't
used
make tape
simultaneously,
sword.
yeah.
He
You're
didn't
right.
have a program advance until the very end.
When
When he had water sword and fire sword. Some other sword. I forgot what it was.
life sword.
No,
But
I think it was Big Fist.
oh, so he's fighting against water and tape guy, and he's using multiple abilities now. And
And he
when
realizes the
stealth-
only way to end this is to use Gear Third.
yeah, his hand just gets ginormous out of nowhere, and he punches the water guy.
With the
And-
most flaccid punch I've ever seen in an
One
anime.
punch.
And it's kind of sad because it reminded me of SpongeBob SquarePants. You know when like when SpongeBob and Patrick go inside Sandy's area, they wear like fish bowls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what was happening with
He's
water.
just bleeding out.
He's bleeding out his water.
I do need it. I do.
And so, I don't know. His friends like collect him or something like that, and they disappear. Mary Jane, aka her real name Eleanor, then
Ellie.
approaches Exxon. I want to call him Red X so bad.
I
Exxon.
want to call him Colonel Roy Mustang.
How do you feel about the name Exxon?
It's not bad.
I feel
It's
like
not
you
bad.
should apply it directly to the forehead.
Exactly, which it was for him.
Head
But
on.
yeah, it was definitely on. But yeah, she's like, Exxon, I've been following. Oh no, wait, yeah, no, yeah,
Hey, let me become your disciple.
yeah. She asked like, teach me to use my
Well,
powers.
we're also forgetting about Iron Man, Batman, armor mode.
Iron Man, Batman, armor.
Because he did finish his fight after he beat the Man-Bat and Lizard
Jobber.
Green.
Because everyone was just like, "Hey, who are you?" And he was like, "I am I Guy." Okay, I thought you guys wanted to finish that.
No.
Okay.
Oh, that's after the reporter's like, Sky Show, you did so good.
Are you going to protect New York? Nah, I live in LA.
Peace. Yeah. Yeah, that was I Guy. What?
So we'll see him later on.
Yeah. So now we start intimately following Eleanor as she goes back to her place, and Exxon just appears there too. He corners her and does that meme Japanese thing where you push your hand
Cicada.
against, basically push your hand against the wall and get real close, and says, "Wraith," just a word, and she's like, "What?"
Huh?
And he goes, "Oh, thank God, you're just a crazy stalker." So there's not much context happening right now in this anime, but from what we
Right now.
yeah, well, okay, for a very long time. There's about 5 episodes of them just kind of throwing you into their universe. But what we
Just
learned
road tripping.
is that there was an incident in the world where some kind of like, I don't know, it looked like a wormhole was opening around the earth, and green light and purple smoke was just, I don't know, falling down
The light was shooting at people and the smoke was just falling.
like secondhand smoke. And if you got touched by it, the people would pass out.
Or die.
Or die.
Yeah, a lot amount of people died.
And for those who have survived, if you were touched by a green light, you had the ability or the chance to develop a superpower of some sort and look human still. While those who inhaled the purple smoke, if they survived, would become deformed somehow.
Like, I don't know, like a man-bat person or a jobber lizard person.
Or a guy with 6 arms who, when he punches people, yells guts, 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 guts.
Or maybe
Or
some
Gordon can
Skeletor
teleport.
water person.
Yeah. What did you say, Julian?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I don't think. No, I feel like I remember there was one person who got black smoke and they were like,
Stanley.
okay, besides one. Oh, yeah, I guess. Yo, no, the teleporter dude. He was
Oh, yeah.
like normal. He
You-
just ate gum.
You mean the guy?
oh, no, there's the illusionist too.
The illusionist and the guy
And the
who-
flame lady, she was fine. She's
until
just
she
Russian.
turned on fire. She had short hair. What do you mean? Anyways,
I think people have different definition of the
That's
form.
like one of
Deformed.
my least
Maybe she
favorite
had-
female archetypes. The Russian lady with the really short hair.
oh,
And also
Zara
muscular.
from Overwatch.
No, she has long hair, but I still don't like her.
Maybe what she felt was a deformity was that she used to have long, luxurious, flowing hair.
And it got
away.
burned off.
Yeah, possibly, But yeah. Anyways, that's what's happened in the world, and the people who had developed powers were now known as the Reflected.
It's apparently a derogatory term.
Yeah, and they
All
never
these refs.
Those reflectos.
they never really explained why it's called Reflections, but that's what they. So yeah, that's what she decides to call them. They decide to call reflected people, but yeah, Exxon, though he denies her because he says like, "Why do you want me to teach you?" She's like, "Well, I thought you were cool and all about justice."
Your name might be Exxon, but you give me a hard on.
And for that reason, he's out.
Peace, you're on your own. Research Wraith for me.
Maybe
Yeah,
Mr.
he
Wonderful
goes.
can help
He
you.
says like, you got to find your own strength. Because she's like, I think you can teach me how to use my powers better. And he's like, no, you got to do that on your own. But here's a hint: look up Wraith, and then he disappears into the night. She goes on her computer and she's like, what? How do I look up Wraith? Let me Google it. And she's like, I'm not getting anything.
And then
Oh.
our house burns down.
No, not yet.
No, basically.
Wraith.
She
Quotation mark Wraith. Race minus sin.
and
Like, she
then-
just started using every Google trick she knows.
and then it's like reflected Wraith, and then Google image searches. It's like catfish, where you like reverse engineer and try to find. She gets like some security camera footage of some weird looking shadows, and it's just like, oh, I think this might be it. And then Exxon's behind her again. She's like, oh, what do you got there?
Neat.
I thought you disappeared into the night. He was like, yeah, I'm back.
No, I never left.
I never left. I just used my Spider-Man powers and was clinging to
I
the roof.
used my invisible powers that I got off screen that you don't know about.
And so, yeah, they start looking into the pictures, and then all of a sudden her house starts burning. Smells like burning.
Hara?
she she jumps
that
out
smell?
of her dorm
Well, she teleported outside
Oh,
the window
teleports out
and
the
falls.
and then teleports right before hitting the ground so that the momentum of falling doesn't kill her. That was kind of cool.
I guess.
And then
Yeah.
some
I
lady yells,
guess.
"My baby!" and Spider-Man.
I love my baby in there.
Let me ask you something, Sigurd.
Yeah.
How does that situation happen?
What, the fire?
How do you just leave your baby inside a house, inside of the apartment, and then you're just outside? Like, what are you doing out there?
It's called.
Did you just come back to like a burning house?
It's the flight or fight response, and her flight response was so.
So she was in the
she
apartment.
was definitely in
and
the
then there was
apartment.
the burning. And she's like, I gotta get the fuck
I
out.
forgot, oh my god, I forgot about baby.
and then yeah, as she got out, she's like, "Ugh, "Did I lock the door? Oh,
Did I leave
wait,
the oven on?
my baby." So, I think that's the only way you could really do it.
I guess. So she.
Look,
She
not
wasn't-
everyone
she
can be a
wasn't
good
just
parent.
outside- No, I'm just wondering how this happens. I don't care about being a good parent, but it's just like, how are you outside this house that's on fire? Like, what was the situation that got you out there? Were you out there previously and you came back to the fire? Were you just hanging outside?
That could be an
Were you sitting on the stoop? Are you stoop kid?
Maybe a butterfly flapped its wings, and then all of that led to this, where she is now outside and her baby's inside. But we're going to rectify that because Exxon's going to Spider-Man in and Spider-Man out with the baby. Right?
Sure.
I think that's
Yes,
what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened, and then he tried to leave.
But Eleanor kind of like tags along, and then he's like, "Let me make this phone call." And Eleanor's like, "Sure." He talks to some chick that gives him some info on I don't know what, but they're gonna go to it. And then Eleanor asks like, "Who is that?" And he goes, "Someone better than you, someone
Where
more
did they
useful."
go? They went to Louisiana?
I think they went to New Orleans. Yeah,
New Orleans was first. Yes.
Nolans.
Nolans. During this time, we have basically two storylines going on. One revolving around Exxon and Eleanor, and the other protagonist, I Guy. Now,
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the Japanese high schoolers
in the very beginning,
that who keep
Yeah.
on showing up
all right.
randomly.
So during this time, all that we've seen so far was the very beginning, where someone was lighting little candle boats, right? And then someone saying, "Oh, this is really cool." Watching Sky Show, I Guy, and says, "This is happening in New York." And then later on, some high school girls like chatting. That's what we have so far. There's 3 storylines, right? So, going back to I Guy is international pop star Ian Izette
When you say pop star, pop is short for popular?
at a point.
Oh, at a point.
Yeah. I
a
mean,
point.
let's look at Smash Mouth. They were pop stars for a little while.
Okay, so Smash Mouth is still popular.
What about Madonna?
No.
Okay,
Who's
well,
Madonna?
Madonna was a pop star.
She's not anymore.
What about Nat King Cole?
No?
Elvis?
Who are these people?
Johnny Cash?
Is he? No, that's 9 Inch Nails.
Anyways, yeah, he was a popular musician at one point. And if at any point you could be a one-hit wonder pop star, it was the 80s.
Why? So you could buy companies and sell them?
Well, no, but there were so many one-hit wonders during the 80s.
Were there?
How about I'm Turning Japanese?
I get. I don't even know who sings that.
Exactly, but you know that song.
It's true. I know the song. Do I like the song?
yeah.
No.
Yeah,
How
those-
about and I run
Okay, so
far
a flock
away.
of seagulls. That's. They have other songs.
Do you actually know who they are?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. I only know that one.
Singer,
Yeah, and then 19. No, well,
How
who
about?
did it? Who did Bowling for Soup did a cover of it,
Oh, well.
and that was the opening for
Wait, that was an opening for something.
yeah, Saint Seiya.
Another
Whoa.
anime.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are a lot of. Well, I turn you round,
You
right,
spin
baby.
me.
Yeah.
Singer, you gotta stop singing. We're gonna get copyrighted again.
I'm sorry. So yeah, Ian had a song called Sky Show that only became popular because of some TV show. Apparently,
Really?
that's what they said. Well, not in real life. This is in the anime.
No, I mean in the anime. I don't know. I thought people just liked the song.
No, they said that.
Well,
it
the
became
song was good.
popular due to a TV
Yeah.
show, and then a bunch of people covered it.
Are you sure this isn't the real world too?
Well, I mean, someone also commented like, "Oh yeah, Sky Show's good, but the rest of the album suck."
Yeah. And this was produced by the godfather of 80s music, Tim Horner, who's a real person, much like Stan Lee, who was a real person.
I like how you have to say that twice.
Yeah.
Why are you bringing in Stan Lee into this?
Because Stan Lee's in the anime, and so was Tim Horner.
Yeah.
Who's
who
telling
voiced Tim
Ian,
Horner?
"Come on, baby, let's make another hit like Sky Show. You're the best."
Make Sky Show 2.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
Oh gosh. But Ian is starting to feel a little melancholic because the tabloids are really saying like, yeah, that guy's cool and he like catches people, but then almost immediately they get busted out of prison by some other purple people. And
Just like Batman.
It's collusion.
yeah, they're saying that that he's not truly a hero. And he's like, well, I'm trying my best.
It wouldn't be a problem if you just killed them.
Okay,
If it would be a
Batman.
Punisher for one day, the world would be a better place.
Whoa.
Oh, Lord Punisher.
I'm scared.
So Ian starts going down this like tragic, melancholy, drunken escapade playing guitar on the street because the thing is that when he sings, his voice is actually a supersonic weapon.
Are you telling me he's reflected?
He's a reflected.
Oh my god, green
Yeah.
light or black smoke?
Green light.
Green smoke.
Which is why he's shooting green lasers.
Oh.
Yeah.
You
So-
told me his suit is powered by his voice.
See,
I
that's
think
the part
so.
I didn't understand, and I
I
thought that's why they were playing Sky Show all the time.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but they never explained. They never explained any of their powers really.
Not really. But it was funny to think that he was just singing the entire time while he's fighting people.
No, it wasn't because in episode 2 we got that entire 10 minutes of episode 1 re-aired.
Re-given, yeah.
But in a
But it
different
had-
perspective.
It had director's commentary on it
Yeah.
or whatever.
Because Ian, being the former pop star that he is, he has a team going on. And that's how we realized, that's how we came to know that Sky Show was playing and the panels of the screen were changing and timed perfectly because his light, sound, production, and producer were all working with him and, I don't know, hacking the city or
I
something.
guess, man.
Hacking into the base.
The database. Which is another song. No, but anyways,
Slit your throat.
I think I
there's so many songs, but I just miss You Are My Friend so bad. But-
Well, we're not friends anymore if you keep this up.
no. So, from there, we'll go back to Exxon. I wanted to call him Head On now, but
Why not?
that's your fault. Red X Exxon is
Redhead.
Redhead Exxon is on his way to New Orleans. To
In Eleanor's truck that he is talking shit about.
oh yeah, the entire time he's completely rude.
Yeah, it's like, wow, this truck sucks.
You
I know
suck.
I asked if you had a car and you said yes, but
This isn't really a car.
this isn't what
This
I
car
was
have
thinking.
horrible gas mileage.
So they get to New Orleans and they
Nolans.
find out that everyone is very antagonistic. Actually, we see the first scene is just this poor black kid getting beat up by some people saying like, "Ah, you're friends with the Reflected, so this is what you get." And it's sad.
Wait. They couldn't have gone to New Orleans first because they had to meet Lisa.
Oh, no, that
Oh, Lisa
on their
is-
way to New Orleans. They
Yeah, so they weren't
they-
in New Orleans first.
Oh, wait.
where was Lisa though?
I think they were
Wait.
examining that stoplight,
Oh yeah. What,
Well,
that
the
they saw
sun-
the
the-
shadow.
Wait, I thought.
the camera.
Oh, yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
and then you see Lisa in her wheelchair
Oh, yeah,
racing
she
against
was-
an airplane.
To the tune of Sky Show, but she's racing on against an airplane on some kind of like high velocity wheelchair thing, and then she kind of swerves right in front of a car, which happened to be the truck of Eleanor, and she falls out. No one's hurt, but she takes her to the hospital anyways. That's when the girl uses her pity card to make Eleanor her friend and invite her to dinner.
But
And
not before her dad gets really mad.
yeah, her dad, who's a police officer.
How dare you run over a cripple?
And she goes, "I'm not a crippled dad.
She clearly is.
I'm handy capable. And besides, you can't treat our guests like that. She's my friend now." So
Nah,
let me ask
valid
you,
points.
if you almost hit someone with your car and they asked to be your friend, would you feel obligated to?
Absolutely not. Who are you?
Oh, wow. What about you, Will?
I mean,
One, I
if-
didn't hit you.
I mean,
You
if
jumped out in front of me. What kind of friendship tactic is this? You could have bonded with me over something like Gurren Lagann, but no,
Look.
you chose to jump in front of my car.
I mean,
Look,
she
look.
didn't ask for your insurance information. She could have been one of those.
yeah, look, she's not going to press charges or anything, so she gotta be a good person. So yeah, let's have dinner. Don't sue me or anything. We could be best friends and not have any financial issues or anything.
Listen, I don't even live in your town. Leave me alone.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, and then they said like you're an outsider, and I thought this was kind of funny considering the fact that like in Japan I could understand that, like, oh, you're a gaijin, a tourist, right? In America, I don't think anyone really like goes by that mentality.
Yeah,
Well, I mean-
everyone welcomes the jihad, right?
Well, no, but
It's a bit different.
She was just a ginger dude.
I mean, they're in the East Coast. They might not be as forgiving as us in the West Coast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
come on, I'm walking here.
Get off of my property.
So they go to Lisa's house and they find out she's like a former track star and like a comic book nerd. And
All right, she didn't have real legs. She track starred on her wheelchair.
no, she
No, she was born in the wheelchair.
She
Was
was
she
literally born in a wheelchair.
wait,
Like-
she's wheelchair track star.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like she
Oh.
could never walk.
I thought
It
I
was-
saw some
No, you-
animation of her running, but maybe it was
you
some
saw
other
her animation wheeling.
Yeah. They trick you by showing the top
some
half.
other person.
No,
I
no,
think?
they show you the top half of her like wheeling, but she's actually wheeling along. She's,
Was she racing against kids who were running?
She was racing against a plane, and they made it look really fast.
No, I'm saying in the past though.
No.
I think you're confusing it with another character because that's happened to another character.
There was another track star?
Yes.
No, I swear to God, it was Lisa.
No, they said that she
man.
was born in a wheelchair. Like
I remember having the
remember
conversation with
that
Law.
part.
Hey, look, this is finally one of those characters who's crippled forever.
like born in a wheelchair. Like we
I mean, there was Aoyama or whatever her name was,
Who?
the blue one from Cheerfruits. She wasn't
Yeah.
born in the wheelchair.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, so you might have been thinking of her. But this one was defective from birth.
I
Wow.
really doubt that Genki was a track star back then. Like they
Yeah,
were.
she was an idol,
Anyways, let's just. She's in a wheelchair. That's
and she has been there forever.
and she loves superheroes and she's super into being positive.
Yep, imagination.
So I mean, not much happens in there except for the backstory of how she became reflected. Her father gets kidnapped by the same purple people that were causing trouble, Water Skeletor.
Purple people. What do you mean by purple?
I told you,
people?
the
purple smokes.
And we get introduced to
Those bang babies.
Magneto, who's this chick. Her name is Steel Ruler, and she can control all metal. Exxon tried to fight her in a junkyard and like called her out there. He's like, he asked that girl that's supposed to be more useful than Eleanor, "Hey, where's there a place where there's a lot of metal?" She's like, "This junkyard." Then he calls Steel Ruler and says like, "Hey, fight me here." Then during their fight, he goes, "Maybe I shouldn't have fought you in here."
I made a horrible mistake.
But the purple people kidnap Lisa's dad,
And
take
Lisa.
him to an antique World War II like museum where there's a bunch of planes, and then they tell Lisa like, you're one of us and we're gonna
What
scare
color are you? Are you green or purple? Are you green or purple?
And she's like, I don't know what you mean. And they're like, we're gonna hurt your dad until you use your superpowers. And she's like, I don't know what you mean.
What? I'm crippled.
Yeah.
I don't belong to any sort of gang.
Her power.
Well, she belongs to the Crips.
Oh wow, Timmy, but
Timmy.
the Eleanor and Exxon appear at the place, start fighting the baddies. Eleanor gets her chair taken away from her like multiple times.
Eleanor.
I mean, Eleanor, Lisa. And this is when one of the bad guys, like, I didn't understand how he could be alive because he was like this fat dude in like a bondage suit. And I originally thought, oh, it's their version of Pain, or Bane, I mean.
I'm about to say.
And then his superpower is to split his body in half, where he has like a industrialized crusher grinder thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm gonna put you in me.
I'm a blend ya.
I'm gonna blend you, cripple. And she's like, no.
You don't need those legs.
No! Come here. But she reaches her wheelchair
He's
and
trying
then
to juice her. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't. How is he alive? He has metal in him.
That's fine, dude. How
It's
is
not like she's bending the metal inside of him. She's just bending the metal around everything else. Like,
Yeah, well,
like a plant.
that was just his superpower, was to be that.
Okay, we have a person that superpower was light up on fire. How are you? Like,
how are you justifying one but not the other?
Okay, you could still have organs and be that, but is he
it's,
a robot?
It's a superpower. Like that's how it works.
He's beyond human.
I'm just saying, like, if my superpower was to split my body in half, and when I split, I can become a scissor, and then I just like scissor things, and there's no more organs or bones in me. Am I alive still?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
same
because
way-
you're a superpower person. Like you're not normal. Like your organs.
you
probably somewhere
don't
else.
have the same rules.
Okay, I think realistically, I think they might have said like his body is like some sort of like dimension or portals or something. They did not explain it very well on him, and you see him
Or
this
what he
one
was
time.
gonna do to Lisa.
He's gonna grind her.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, you mean that
To
face-
absorb her powers?
No.
Well, we
That's
only see him that
Excelsiors.
one time, so we don't have to worry about him anymore. We don't
Yeah.
have to question his powers.
He gets beat up quite handedly by Lisa, who becomes super.
She becomes Iron Man.
Yeah, she had like a little toy robot in her room
That got decapitated.
Well,
called
to,
Big Wheel.
It's her power is for
No, the
imagination.
robot wasn't called Big Wheel.
Yeah,
Her power was called Big Wheel.
which was to turn her robot.
Yeah,
No,
because
she
she
called
had
it- she
wheels
called it-
on her wheelchair. There were no wheels on the robot. That was not Big Wheel.
But I thought she yelled Big Wheel, became the robot, and then she'd be like Soaring Man, and then she would get the little wings to make him fly.
yeah, her stand is named Big Wheel. It's a vision of her soul
Anyways,
that stands
her-
out of her.
Her power is imagination, but it's limited to the one comic she read, which is Soaring Man, which is to fly, and a toy robot that her dad happened to give to her, like when she was little.
And heavy arms.
Oh yeah, she got rockets
was
and
totally heavy arms, but she like just destroys Grinder Man, and
Oof. Smashes that.
Exxon fights Steel Magneto ruler lady, and yeah, Lisa in the end's like, hey, I'm gonna join you guys because I could be a superhero.
bye, Dad.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, don't go.
Don't
I love
go.
you.
I saw that you were touched by the green light and just decided never to tell you. But yeah, so their party of 2 becomes 3. They go to New Orleans,
Nolans.
where everyone is
Nolans.
They-
picking on people
Reflecting.
who like reflected people and or reflected themselves.
They're selling them to merchant and traders.
Yeah, some guy named Merchant and his lackey Trader. While this is happening, Eleanor steps in between some kind of little scuffle between little boys and says like, hey, don't fight him. And then the cop, his name is Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas in Nolans.
Merkin.
And he's like, hey, we don't take too kindly to people who take kindly to reflected.
And uses a reflected.
So I'm gonna book you. And then Merchant and Trader comes in. It's like some kind of giant steel alligator and a blind guy from Bleach
We didn't
named
know he was
Tosin.
blind. We didn't know that Kaname Tosin was blind.
Yeah.
He just had that monster thing with
Really
him.
cool sunglasses and a nice vest.
And a cane.
Did he have a cane?
Yeah, he had a cane.
Yeah.
And
Blind
so
people use cane, Julian.
I don't remember having one. He kind of just rode on that monster the entire time.
a lot. So
It's the only way he got around.
No,
Merchant
because
and
remember he was whacking people with his cane. He was just like, go away, go away.
So Merchant and Trader take Eleanor and convince the cop, hey, we reflected will deal with our own, so you guys don't have to get your hands dirty. You know, you don't want to catch that reflected. So
Don't want to get any drops of reflected blood on you, or you'll die in 100 days.
so Eleanor gets taken to some underground facility and finds out that Merchant and Trader are actually not kidnapping.
Hoarding reflected.
Yeah, they're
to
hoarding
eat them
reflected
later.
No, hoarding reflected people to make like a small community where they can live. This comes on the coattails of them going to New Orleans because they find out that one lady named something Allen had been kidnapped.
Probably like Jennifer Allen and her sister, like Alice Allen.
Alice Allen,
Then you got Susie Allen and Margaret Allen
Michelle
and-
Allen,
and
Alan,
So
Alan,
they go to
Barry Allen.
New Orleans because
Wylan.
it was the closest. Not Wylan Allen.
Sigourney
no, Nick
Allen,
Cannon. No, no more.
Julia Allen.
No more Allens. But yeah, they go to New Orleans to follow the Allen Trail, and she finds 2 of them there
Oh, yeah, I guess inside the.
inside the little community.
Yeah.
Lisa and Exxon are like, "Where did Eleanor go?" And they befriend the little black guy that was getting picked on, and he's like, "I know where they're at."
They don't. Lisa does, and then Lisa gets kidnapped.
Lisa got kidnapped?
Yeah, remember?
I thought Eleanor got kidnapped.
Well,
Oh yeah, after the,
They
when
both
you say
get
they were-
kidnapped, but by
yeah,
different people.
everyone got kidnapped in the end, and they
Not
end up
Exxon.
at this
He's looking out for number 1.
himself.
He was just sleeping in the truck. Was like, whatever, I don't care.
Where are they? I don't know.
Her
Whatever.
wheelchair's on the ground. Just take it with me.
So they all end up at that mansion that they were being housed in. Dallas wants to kill them. We find out that Michael, the Tosin guy,
You mean
Uh,
Tosin, the
To-
Tosin guy?
Tosin is blind, but he can only see the shadows of reflected people, so he can tell if they're green or purple.
Or if they're reflected at all.
And his partner, Steel Alligator, was his neglected.
Steel alligator. Did she ever had a name?
No,
It's a
V,
V,
which is her real name.
But yeah, she didn't have like a code name or anything.
But
I guess
she
Eleanor didn't either, so it's okay.
She was a sad lady who was left at home because Michael was a prolific gambler who I
He was
don't know.
gonna
Did
win
one more-
big too.
Did one more roll. Just one more roll.
And she's like, "Why aren't you home? Why aren't you home?" And she got touched by purple smoke. He got touched by green light, which is why she's a giant steel alligator now.
Because you got a 50-50 of being deformed.
Yeah. So she goes berserk when the cops show up and like they like blast at her. Also, the purple people come back trying to kidnap all of the New Orleans
Trying, huh?
reflected. For now. The cops blast away all of Steel Alligator's armor, and she becomes human again for a second. I'm like, oh, she's cute and naked, but she's cute. And then she's like, Michael, I still love you. And he's like, oh, baby, it's all good. I love you too.
And then they start boning in the bog
And she becomes a giant steel alligator again.
because they start shooting at him.
They finally reloaded.
Eleanor teleports and kicks every cop in the nuts. And then I'm sorry, but that's basically what she did. They're like, oh, I'm in the dark. Teleport, nut punch. Teleport, push you off the boat. Teleport,
she
nut punch.
kicks some hands or something too.
Yeah. But she's coming into her own as a superhero is what I'm trying to say. That's
Well, I disagree.
She's saving lives here, man. While this is happening, purple people are succeeding in kidnapping all of the New Orleans reflected people.
Don't forget about the coolest purple person,
Who?
Volt.
Oh. Why don't you tell me about Volt, man?
Oh man, okay, so he's this dude, and he's just constantly electricity. So
He's
just-
on electricity.
So he must be a purple
no,
person.
He is constantly electricity. He's like, it's just flooding off his face the entire time. He doesn't turn off.
Never.
That circuit is not.
It's like Dr. Manhattan with hair
I
and more
don't
angry.
know who Dr. Manhattan is or what he does.
He's from
Watchmen.
the Watchmen.
Just because I know
Watchmen.
that doesn't help me, man. We're the X-Men, all right?
He was God.
Yeah, no, I don't know. He's just electricity and he shocks things.
He'll just yell out, lightning!
He's basically a bad Static Shock,
Yeah.
and he doesn't do anything else.
So yeah, he tries to electrocute things. It's not very successful against
Oh, he
Steel
tries. He
Alligator.
did really well. They were in the water, and he was like, "I'm gonna get you," and like Steel Alligator. I guess that's what we're calling her now. She was like, "Ah, ah, ah, ah." But Michael in the water, he seemed cool.
He was like, no, me!
They were both in the water, but only Steel Alligator was getting it.
because the metal was conducting
metal
all the
conducts
electricity.
electricity.
Yeah, so does all the other stuff in the water, but whatever. It was great
Snorted.
because I didn't know like if it was affecting Steel Alligator or not because it was like.
All right, so yeah, Volt. I guess that's what we'll call him.
No, I'm pretty sure that was his name.
That was his fault.
He
His
got
name was
introduced.
Volt.
This is episode 3, 4. They introduced his name in like episode 10.
So Eleanor, Exxon, and Lisa. Now Michael and Steel Alligator.
We know her name. Why are we doing this?
Steel Alligator's a cool name, man.
No, man.
All right, V. They all decide
she
to
can be adamantium crocodile.
adamantium croc.
Adam Croc.
Croc rock. So,
Diamond Croc.
Diamond Dan. But they're
Damascus.
all
Superhero names are fun to make
yeah,
up.
they are.
Except she's not a superhero. She's a monster.
It's a monster. So they all pack into Eleanor's
She's a purple
truck.
person.
Yeah, she is a purple person. I said that.
Just reminding you that she's a monster. She shouldn't be allowed to live, that damn reflected.
Oh God, how dare she?
That purpler.
Mixing with green? Like, what's wrong with her?
What kind of baby you're gonna make?
Those colors don't even complement each other.
That's like a
That's why the Joker picked them.
that's like a brown baby.
What are you trying to say?
The purple and green might make brown. A blue brown.
You know, we'll look into it. But yeah, they all pack into Eleanor's truck somehow, even Steel Alligator, because she can change her size now of either being like some kind of
Metal woman.
flatworm woman, or actual Steel Alligator.
No, it's just like an Iron Maiden.
Yeah,
She becomes an Iron Maiden.
so metal. Anyway, so
She's very metal.
they go to San Antonio next, where the next Allen ladies
Which
are.
I thought was actually San Jose
Oh, really?
the entire time. And like
hey,
the
San
next
Jose.
episode, I realized, wait a second. They weren't in California.
During this time, we'll switch over to I Guy. And he's at.
Let's go back to the Japanese girls. I like them.
Okay, they decide they're at a lunch table, and they go, so we're gonna be superheroes, right?
Did they say that?
Yeah,
Basically, yeah.
yeah. They literally say that. Like,
I
so
don't
we're
We're
gonna
gonna
be
make our
superheroes,
debut.
as superheroes. All right, that's all we got from them. So we go back to I Guy. I Guy, in his drunken stupor, comes back from like a fight with Exxon. What? No, wait. Yeah,
No,
was
no,
it
that's
that?
before.
way later,
Before.
isn't it?
It's before. Well, no, because like he was trying to still be relevant. It was like everyone's saying I guy, but no one's saying.
I think this is
Ian.
where that
Ian.
black
Okay, yeah,
dude
yeah, you're
loses
right.
his shit over Ian Izzet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He tries to sing after he goes to this nightclub where the bouncer totally knew he was. He's like, dude, you can sing Sky Show? That's my favorite song.
Get in there, bro.
Everyone's gonna remember you. So,
Get in
It's
there
going to
and
be
sing
so
Sky Show.
lit.
and so he goes inside, and then he's like, hey, gets the girl who's singing to
He
go.
just walks up on stage
He's
like,
like,
"Hey,
move.
I got this."
Hey, I'm gonna let you finish, but I have the best one-hit wonder of all time.
Hey, you guys,
Of all time.
you guys know Sky Show? Yeah, you guys know Sky Show. The band starts playing it.
He just stands there.
And the backup singers come in, at least.
There are backup singers in that song?
There are, yeah.
I don't know.
And he just stands there, and then he goes, and then shockwaves come out of his mouth, and his alcohol breaks. And then his manager comes up and is like, "Oh, he can't do this. He's just really drunk. Sorry about the disturbance." Because now we know that it's his voice that gives him strength. That's a superpower.
I feel like it's the super
My
that gives
voice
him
gave me
strength.
super strength.
Yeah, exactly. Barney / Tristan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Prince here. But yeah, and he's sad because he can't sing his own hit song anymore.
And the bouncer
any
was
song
also
anymore.
was really upset. Like, I wanted to hear Sky Show.
And then he turns into I Guy, flies into the sky, and just blasts Sky Show with the speakers.
And then the bouncer had like the best day ever.
Yeah, Sky Show!
Yay!
During this time, we get a news report where someone says, like, seems to be 4 Japanese girls pretending to be magical girls saving Japan.
Yep.
That's that crossover. All right, back to Eleanor and Exxon.
They're in San
So,
Antonio now.
They go to San Antonio where they find some old lady at a haircutting place and like, hey, are you Nagy Allen? And she just flips her shit. She's
Nina.
like, hey,
They were looking for Nina.
no, Nina Allen? She's like,
it
no.
wasn't Alan. It was Nina something.
I swear to
Nina
God,
Fisher. She changed her name or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
people get married, bro. Come on.
sorry, forgot.
God,
So
how could
she-
you forget? This
she's
is great
cutting-
American pastime.
she's cutting some dude's hair and he's all having a happy
Aw,
time.
Poor guy.
And she just shaves right down the middle. He's like, what the heck? which made him look.
This is why black people don't go to white shops.
Yeah, he should have been at a barbershop
He should have been.
because now he looked like that one judge in
He looked like Mickey
America's
Mouse.
Next Top Model. There's like a guy who has that haircut where it's just parted down the middle. He looks like Mickey Mouse sometimes.
I kind of figured he looked like Thugnificent from Boondocks.
He did look like Thugnificent
Yeah.
because it's also drawn a little bit close to that style of animation.
Thuggery.
So, like, old lady gets in Eleanor's face and says, like, don't say, what is
That-
it, Nani?
Or
Nina?
Nina Fisher.
What did you
Nani?
do?
Nani is gone.
Stop saying that name. Why did you say that name?
She's like, you say that name one more time, I'll cut your bangs. Nina.
Do it, you old hag.
They
I'll
fi-
call that bluff 100 times.
She figures out that this old lady is Maggie Allen, Nina's mom.
No, it's Margaret.
Margaret? No, they call her Maggie.
Yeah, 'cause she said, "Call me Maggie."
Thanks, man.
But her
Thanks for
name is
clarifying.
Margaret, all right.
All right. So she's like,
Was she an Allen?
Yeah,
I don't remember her
she's
being
an
an
Allen.
Allen.
so
Margaret Allen.
so they
I don't
go.
remember her being an Allen. I just remember Margaret.
Well, she is. And they go, all right, we're gonna reunite you with your daughter because obviously you're a salty old hag. Let's go to L.A. So they start driving to L.A.
They kind of kidnapped her too. She was like, I don't want to see my dog. Where are you taking me? Quit pushing me.
And then she starts.
don't know you. That's my purse.
She takes a note from Exxon and starts talking crap about like young people and Eleanor's car. And
well,
then,
don't they have to split up? Don't they already split up? There's the decoys.
Yes.
huh?
Yeah, because
They weren't driving in Eleanor's car, were they?
They had two
Because-
cars.
Yeah, they had two cars.
All I know is Exxon and Margaret and
Exxon's black friend and Michael and.
I
Steel-
never
Steel
really paid
Alligator?
attention to
But
those
no, they,
other
they,
dudes.
they split off.
Yeah, they split off.
Yeah,
You're
because
right.
the purple, like the bad guy.
Lisa, Purple, and Purple, Steel Lizard, and Michael stick with some dude from Exxon's past, and the rest of them go to L.A.
Yeah, because the purple people are hunting the Allens, and they try to protect the Allens.
That's
So,
true.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what-
you got it. So during that time, ow.
Oh, wow.
Eleanor has a vision of Wraith finally, and
As she's driving,
As she's
everything
driving.
just goes black as she's on the freeway.
it's like Psycho Mantis. You know, he's like, "I am Wraith."
It's not how Psycho Mantis works.
And this is an illusion where you can only hear me.
Oh, I see you like Castlevania.
Ah, you like to save a
I
lot.
see you like Exxon.
You like man.
He's rejecting you.
But she's and then yeah, you
Fox
find me. And so Eleanor snaps out of it and just realized, oh god, I talked to Wraith. I'm not gonna let Exxon know. They make it to LA. They find Nina. Nina has a barbershop that's identical to her mom's. They reunite and realize that they still love each other. And then the purple people come and ruin it all.
Oh no! No!
All right, help
It was
me.
I guy who ruined it all.
Yeah,
he
'cause-
busted into that building and fired off his lasers that collapsed everything.
Well,
it was all him.
well, first
Don't
off-
you dare blame those purple people.
Well,
you blame them just because they're purple.
It's true.
Well, I mean, Steel Ruler came in and was like, hey, Eleanor, I will spare you if you give me those Allens. And she's like, I don't know, how do I get out of this? And then
Hi, guy.
I guy just came in and was like, hey, can I
You
join
can
this
call him
party?
Sky Show. It's okay.
And then, yeah, they have this big epic battle.
Epic.
Where we see two,
It was one of the better fights.
we see Exxon comes in, says, "Hey, who are you, blue dude?" And he goes, "I am I guy. Let's be superheroes." And Exxon's
Let's
like,
be
"You're
super friends.
you're not a superhero. You're just a giant lighthouse for these purple freaks to come crawling out."
I'll show you a light show.
And then he screams Sky Show at people, and some new bad
And
guy.
Man Bat comes back again.
Yeah, Man Bat comes to fight his arch nemesis, Sky Show.
No, Batman.
Batman. Man Bat fights
Man Bat V2.
fights Batman. And a new bad guy who looks absolutely human grabs the Allens and then slowly goes through the earth and leaves old lady Allen
No.
halfway in the concrete.
That's not what happened.
Well, while that's happening,
That's not what happened.
what happened?
Fucking old lady Allen was also reflected.
Yeah.
And she used her powers to get her daughter
While
out
they
of
were
there.
in the quicksink of regular looking purple guy.
The way she died was so good.
so they're slowly.
Teleported her away and she just slumped over and died like Kamina.
But the part that my sister and I kept laughing at the fact was like my sister didn't understand. She goes, "Why is she just in the concrete?"
We didn't get that either. She's just dead in there. Like
They
and
didn't
then
even,
all the purple people were like, "We gotta go."
yeah, they didn't even make an attempt to rescue her. Could you imagine going into that parking lot
and just seeing half an old lady.
Yeah, like get dead and like like that would be all over the news. Like, how did this happen? What happened?
What happened? They needed a Daijou crew to come and explain. But yeah, old lady Allen teleports Nina somewhere.
I think at the cost of her life.
Yeah, maybe
I think
the
he used her
last
life
bit of her
force.
power teleported her away.
I have something to say about that later.
They go to we get a flash forward or something. I don't know. We get teleported to this other place where this guy named Conman. Yeah,
Conway?
Conman. He's the one that makes illusions, right? The blonde guy.
No, I guess you might be right, Conman. I don't know.
Anyways, Eleanor is about to talk to Michelle Allen. After we only know that name because this blonde kid goes, "Hey, are you Michelle Allen?" She's like, "Yeah," and then he just grabs her and starts running. Eleanor starts chasing her, but he's able to make everyone see whatever he wants.
Yeah, this is where we see a bunch of people. I guess we assume last name is Allen get kidnapped, and the heroes are just failing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gonna jump ahead.
You jump right ahead, man. You teleport like Eleanor.
Steel Ruler makes a deal with. Steel Ruler makes her deal with Eleanor. That's what you guys are saying. Where they have like meeting part 2, and she's like, "Well, I don't know. What if I just gave you me instead of the Allens, and I want all the New Orleans people to come out?" And she goes, "You don't know anything about anything. You know nothing, Eleanor." And she's like, "What?" And then she meets Exxon's like government people, and this is when I stopped paying attention a little bit because they're like,
You can't do that. You need to do the sun.
"No,"
freeze.
because I was gonna rely on you guys this time.
Well, yeah, basically the government people were like saying, "Hey, yeah, they seem like they want you more, so we're going to use you at base so we can figure out their hideout and
Exxon's using
everything."
her as bait. She's just bait.
Yeah, it's just like, "Oh, I'm going to be used at bait again."
I'm just bait.
That's her superhero name. Bait.
Bait. And then she asks
Telebait.
Exxon, she asks Exxon, "Hey, are you my friend?" And then Exxon's like, "Sure." And I don't really care. Well, she finds out he doesn't ever really care about his friends from, was it Government Chick or Steel Ruler?
I think
A
Steel
little-
Ruler gave her a floppy disk that she used.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Steel
right.
Ruler
Not a
looked-
floppy disk, a USB drive.
Yeah, and she finds out that he was like some kind of government program where, and also been told that like he let all of his friends die.
He was like the sole survivor of this
And he
horrible
does-
experiment.
And he doesn't keep people in his heart. That's why he can make friends easily and just betray them just as
And then
easily.
she just asked him, "Did you let your friend die?"
He's like, "Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, what's the deal?
I ain't got no friends. What are you talking about?
Am I just bait?" "Yeah." And she's like,
100%.
Well, if I'm going to be bait, I'm going to be bait on my own term. I'm going to go over there right now. And they're like, "No, we haven't set up the trap yet. You can't be bait. Wait, we don't have a trap."
They do some kind of car chase scene where not teleporting guy, but like face through matter guy uses their
And Illusion Man.
and Illusion Man. Illusion Man makes snakes in their plane and
Oh,
Start
their
in their
car.
car.
their car, and the guy driving and everyone in that car just starts freaking out like, "Oh, these snakes!"
You think government officials like that would be a bit more trained?
To fight against snakes. Yeah,
Not freak the fuck out.
yeah, it's snakes, and one of them already told him, "Hey, this is illusion, bro," and he's like, "No, they're snakes. No, they're snakes."
Like, I mean, you can be trained, but can you be trained out of like snake out of nowhere? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think the government can.
You don't lose your cool. You use your
You-
training and
you
you shoot them in the
understand
faces.
Not
No,
all of
you-
them are professionals.
you
obviously.
under-
They're professionals.
You
That's why they wear those clothes.
You understand that it's all genjutsu, and you just move your chakra really fast so it gets broken because the other lady broke the genjutsu,
Well, I guess she was more trained than those three.
just like Sakura was. Anyways, so
No,
Uh,
Sakura was just the best.
But then, yeah, the
phase through matter guy is like, "Oh, your snakes on the plane trick isn't working, Conway,"
we'll just cut through all these buildings.
and I don't know, like Batman comes out again and kills people, and
Well, because I guess could go back to his story. When he went back to his hideout, all of his friends died.
No, that's I.
You have definitely jumped
you
to some
jumped
other
to a
part.
different
Wait,
thing.
what? Did we?
He's still talking about the car chase.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops.
So Man Bat. I mean, yeah. Man Bat helps kill the people in the
Hey,
car.
it's Man-Bat V2 right now.
God, yes, true. It's so hard to keep straight. Anyways, so they kidnap Eleanor. That's the point. They get Eleanor, and they peace out. Now we'll switch over back to I Guy.
Who's really sad that he can't sing.
So he goes back, and they're like, the producer's like, it's okay, baby. You know, it's all good. Hey, you being in this suit that we all have to put on you, that's kind of lame, huh? Yeah, it is. All right, don't worry about it, though.
Well, I'm gonna go out on the street and play my guitar.
And they're like, are you mad because Red X told you you're a lighthouse?
Oh man, that was great when Exxon like bopped him good. He was like, "Bakenet's got to finger."
Yeah.
Yeah, he did punch him. He's like, you're in the way.
Heat end.
And so I was like,
Oh, in this fight, Exxon stole Fire Lady's powers.
oh yeah,
So now he has his water sword and his flame sword.
he has water sword, flame sword, and third gear and tape power,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man power. So, I Guy is being all depressed, and then he goes after he remembers how good he used to be or whatever, goes back into his hideout, and all his friends are dead.
You forgot about the part where Wraith encounters him.
Wraith encountered him. Oh yeah,
He was
Wraith-
singing on his thing.
he was-
Wraith's like, "Hey, you're doing a great job for me. Thanks."
and just
I'm
drops
a huge fan of Sky Show. Here's some money.
buttloads of money into his guitar case, and then tells him like, "You keep doing you, but I'm not gonna need you pretty soon. So I wanted to thank you monetarily. Now get out of my sight."
Except for he left.
And then
Goodbye forever.
so he goes back into his hideout. All his friends are dead.
Push me to the edge.
He pushes some kind of glowing button, and producer son is like, "Oh, Ian, we have had a lot of good times with each other." He's chilling next to producer son's dead body. He goes, "You, me, Tom, Tyler," and they flash like each one of their dead bodies as they're naming them
Hey,
up.
That other
one of them
guy.
was definitely named Aaron.
Aaron, we're invincible when we're all together. You know what?
But it's only when we're together. If you're alone, you're kind of shit out of luck.
Yeah.
so you're gonna need us.
The reason why I talked to you about that suit thing was that Tyler here made a really cool thing for you, but then you came back all sour and ruined it all. So I'm leaving you this message. Push the button. And that's when Knight Rider, the old 80s sitcom, was it
Yeah,
sitcom?
the hit 80s show
Hit 80s
combined
show.
with the hit 80s song.
Knight Rider. So comes out and it's like vroom vroom, and he was like, "Yeah, get in that."
Hello, Michael.
Let's go for a test drive.
And so basically, he has a car now, which somehow can get him into I Guy suit
He's Batman version 2 now.
because his suit is black. And he
He
goes
is
out
the
with a
Dark Knight.
vengeance. He goes like, "If I'm gonna be a lighthouse, I'm gonna be a lighthouse just for Wraith." And he
I'll
starts.
shine the spotlight on him.
He finds some punks and he's like, "Where is Wraith?" And this guy,
Spider Me. Why did you say her name?
Where's Dan?
this punk is just like Porcupine Man. That's his power, is to grow porcupine spines.
And so he planted him in a building.
And Exxon comes out and he's like, "Hey, dude, he doesn't know anything."
Come on, man. These are just
You're pretty
chumps.
dark for a lighthouse.
You're not fun to be around.
And so they're like, "You know what? We gotta go find Eleanor because she's stupid bait and she got herself captured." And so
She stopped being bait and she became food.
she became food. Yeah, government takes them all in, tells them a little bit about Exxon's past, about some. Oh, they say like Exxon didn't betray his friends because everyone agreed that this is what needed to happen, or something like that.
Whatever.
They all signed the waivers.
They make some kind of
Blood
plan
pact.
and find. Steel Alligator picks up her spidey sense on the New Orleans people.
Yeah, the Stan Lee says, "Hey, all my creations, come back to me."
Oh yeah, because
Then
he's
Steel Alligator's like,
oh, purple. What is it, Armin? And so they're like, "Oh, wait, no, let her go. She'll lead us to them." and she just starts jumping in steel alligator mode while they're just driving along.
Military is
behind her.
like, stop it, or we'll shoot.
And Lisa goes into her mecha, her Gundam, and just flies behind
That
steel
is
alligator.
not a Gundam. You need to know what a Gundam. She's Green Lantern.
She's okay. She's Green Lantern.
Green Lantern with only like 2 abilities.
Not the original Green Lantern or the Black Green Lantern, but the newest Green Lantern. I forgot his name though.
Ryan Reynolds.
No,
Kyle Rain,
I think it's Kyle Rain.
the cool one.
Yeah, the one that was a graphic designer, and that's why he could come up with the coolest things.
Yeah, he's the coolest one, but Lisa isn't that. She only have 2 designs.
She's not as creative. Okay, so
She's not creative.
they make it to the mansion where they're all at. Eleanor stops walking and just uses her teleporting powers for everything now.
I guess.
Well, I think it's just a save animation budget.
Oh,
Like,
that was it. They wanted to save the budget. Just cut. Just
Yeah,
keep
just-
on pasting her.
yeah,
different places.
she tried to escape from the mansion by running in the mansion, and Stanley was just like, let her be. She'll eventually go to the boss anyways. Let's have dinner.
Except they didn't eat.
When
They just got in a fight instead.
she ends up meeting not Steel Ruler, but Wraith himself, and then Wraith just like has like a salt parade, just rains on her parade and all
Kind
her
of like,
happiness.
who told you I was evil? Was it Exxon? Can you really believe him? Like, I'm not
Exxon's
evil.
not even a cool guy.
Exxon doesn't even hold your hand.
Yeah, I'll hold your hand here.
Yeah.
Touch me.
He tells her like, no one loved you. That's why you look for approval all the time. Your brother, I don't know if it's little or older. We were
Just your
debating
brother.
that. Yeah.
Older
Your-
brother.
your-
This is Ani.
Your brother was loved by your parents, and everyone focused on him to look past you because you were not important. But you know who can make you feel important? I can make you feel important
With this dick.
Now touch me. So,
Touch my
she-
body.
put me on the floor. So,
Whoa, I didn't know this was for the next.
so she does become like slightly depressed, and then says like, okay, touches
Whatever.
him, gets absorbed into him, and
Or
then
something.
he becomes her.
And then he becomes her dead brother. And then he became Wraith again. It was really weird.
Yeah, he becomes her dead brother when Exxon, who was being led by Con Man into the basement.
Was that how it worked?
I don't
I don't
know.
know what Eleanor 2 was doing.
Eleanor 2 was just teleporting while Exxon followed.
And Steel Ruler was trying to stop him.
Oh, Steel Ruler was like not only trying to stop Exxon from following him, which made it more believable that it was Eleanor, but also made him feel really bad about himself. She's like, why didn't you take her hand? She was a good kid.
She really
just,
needs
like-
you the most.
She needed you the most, but now she's going to go to Wraith. It's your
I
fault.
don't know why Steel Ruler cares.
Yeah, I know. They never really explain why Steel Ruler cared about the well-being of Eleanor anymore. They don't even look remotely similar whatsoever. And so,
Yeah.
Exxon finally makes it to Wraith, who's Eleanor, and he's like, hey, are you okay, Eleanor? And then Psycho Mantis powers come back like, no, I am no longer Eleanor. Eleanor is dead. I'm
Oh, no.
and then sheds her skin into a purple being. I'm Ethan, who was
They're like, who?
Eleanor's dead brother. And then he goes back to being Wraith.
He was like, oh, maybe you'll be familiar with this form then.
All right, so we're gonna cut again to another Japanese girl
Yeah.
scene.
Give us them hoes.
They were on an airplane, and the airline hostess said, "Do you want beef or fish?"
And they're
That's
like,
English. What is she saying?
Yeah, they're like, oh my god, they're speaking English on this English flight. When they say fish, do you think sushi?
Sashimi.
Or sashimi?
No.
No,
Of course not.
I don't know what to choose.
Hurry up. You're holding up the lady.
And then next scene, these pillows are so fluffy. Yeah, this is America. What you expect?
Yeah, we're in downtown LA for
Check-
our school trip. Just the 4 of us.
Check out this view, which is in a really nice penthouse. And then all of a sudden they're in the desert. She's like, is this a prank? But no, everyone's in the desert. Every reflected person.
They used the power of the Allen to teleport every reflected person.
Yep, you
And
see
all
a
the Allens
circle
were
of
dead.
dead Allens.
I think that's their power. I think they teleport at the cost of life.
Oh,
I think that's why Maggie died. And that's why Maggie just instantly slumped over.
that's so sad. Nina Fisher is the only one that's alive.
Yep. Well, she's
Oh,
not
it's a
around
good thing.
anymore.
It's a good thing I changed my
Her
name.
last name, yeah. And then Exxon says like, "Oh, I think all the Allen women's abilities to teleport people." They didn't add the death part though, but good detective work, Julian. But they transferred the 500 American reflected people, plus the 4 Japanese girls who happen to be in America, into the desert.
I think White Sand, Arizona, was it?
White Sand, New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico. Okay.
New Mexico.
Next state over.
Yes, the
GPS
this
tracking.
is where Sane Blue 3 comes from.
Sane Blue 3?
Yeah.
What?
The cheer fruit.
Oh, yeah. So,
Their cousin, Sane Blue 3.
yeah. So, like Wraith. Well, first of all, Stanley's power.
how do you want to tackle this?
Stanley's power seems to be projecting the voice of who he wants into everyone's mind.
The good old King Kai.
Yeah, so he does King Kai's ability on Wraith, and Wraith is like, y'all are reflected, and y'all not gonna get any sleep because I didn't get any sleep. And in fact, you know where you can get sleep? You can get sleep in the darkness. Let me tell you about the darkness now. Darkness.
No, shut the door. We don't want to hear this.
But you can't. I'm in your brain. Darkness is where every human should be because they treat us like dirt, and you're going to join me, and we're just going to praise the darkness. This is when a businessman stands up and goes, I don't want to hear your Jehovah Witness talk.
I got a meeting in the morning. I got to go home later, guys.
There's no
But
way
he's-
the 500 of us could win against the entire world. I'm
I'm
out.
out. And for this reason, I'm out. And starts walking towards the right.
And like L, the other shark, they walked out too because
Yeah,
they
Man,
don't
and
want a
if
piece
you
of that.
and if you thought there was no variety in the show between background characters, it gets even worse here.
Yeah, you just get shadowed
Dude,
like monster. Or
Yeah, it's like
humanoid
shadow
looking people.
orcs and imps and stuff.
And people are like, yeah,
they don't even have facial features.
half of them decide to like stay. It looks like because half of them are like Hell Hydraing Wraith because
Or
they
Hell
knew he
Wraith.
was. Hell Wraith.
You don't know who Wraith Sama is?
No, I'm out of here.
Like, no, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Shut up and listen to her.
So
Him. It.
They.
Exxon gets a phone call and he's like, "Hey, what's up? Oh, you government people? Yeah, I don't know where I am. Oh, you use GPS tracking on me? Oh, we're in White Sand, New Mexico. Get out. Why? Oh, the army's coming. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
And then like 8 helicopters show up. And like,
Like,
hey,
hey, we should probably
you
go.
guys gotta go. We don't want to hurt you.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Just disperse.
And then Wraith or one of the
One
the-
of the perps.
The,
Yeah, one of
the
the purple people.
the bubblegum guy, like, did something to a pilot.
Oh, there was a new purple guy who blew a bubble with his mouth, and then it reflected the face of one of the pilots, and then he just popped his bubble, and then that helicopter pilot just started leading.
Opening fire.
Diesel jet warning shots.
That's when this interesting looking rock man who kind of looked like Groot changed his arm into a hammer, made a rock
He was
pillar.
a purple person too, dude.
Yeah.
He's a part of their group.
Oh, really? Are
Yeah.
you sure?
Yeah.
100%.
Because he was the one that was like, hey, you should listen to Raceamon. They're like, who? Like,
No,
he was the
a
one that.
different guy.
Was it?
That was a different guy.
I thought it was him, but.
Anyways, he earthbends,
Yeah.
and the
Business guy.
business guy
Saturday man.
remembers Gurren Lagann, turns into a drill,
He drills all out of them.
just drills through the helicopter, and then all hell breaks loose. And Wraith is like, "I'm gonna use this chaos," and connects his purple tentacle tethers. He's Shishio from Naruto, just puppet tags
Wait, who?
everyone. Shishio, what's his name?
Sasori?
Sasori? Thank you.
Yeah, because Shishio like, oh, Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
wait, who?
I got confused. Yeah, he's Sasori's everyone. So everyone starts fighting, and then they don't realize that they're getting in a darkness barrier.
Yep.
And then Exxon, Lisa, and all them was just like, oh, we gotta stop them or else we're all gonna get killed.
And so they transform into their superpowers. And then this is when we finally see the Japanese girls turn into a superhero.
Yeah, because the teleportation brought their luggage with them.
And so they sentai into like, was it orange, purple, pink, and yellow?
Oh my god, did you not figure it out?
Huh.
Three of them were earth, wind, and fire.
Oh. What's the last one? Light?
Light, yeah. So she's just by herself.
So
But earth and wind and fire.
yeah, it's pretty good. So they wrecked. They were so cool.
How
I'm
do you
sorry.
get past airport security with that?
I don't. Well,
All
they
those
just thought it
things
was
are
cosplay.
Yeah, they're not real weapons.
Yeah, they were
like-
just props.
Or I think they probably didn't carry it on. They probably checked it in as luggage.
Uh-huh.
And it just looks like cosplay, so they're like, okay. Anyway, so they wreck some shit, and then Wraith creates his pyramid of darkness.
And then a dragon
Sand
comes.
coffin or
Yeah, sand tombs everyone.
Sand burial.
And because it's completely dark, everyone like loses their power. And then Wraith uses his puppet strings to sap the strength from everyone.
He sucks them dry.
And they're like, wait, I thought we were all gonna live in this world. He goes, no, I only care about darkness.
that's my
idiots.
darkness.
I'm gonna bring everyone into darkness.
Shoots and
I ain't getting no life because of y'all. Y'all ain't getting no life because of me.
and it's interesting because when they zoom out of the pyramid, the rest of the world is still happening.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
just a pyramid of darkness. And then it looks like some kind of like lighter darkness at the top of the pyramid is peeking in, and you see like a little dragon head going like, hey, what's
Hey, what's going on in here,
what's
guys?
happening over here?
It was like, oh, hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah.
Please give us more darkness.
Again. So the superheroes that we know, Guy, now Magi girls, we'll call them Cheerfruits. Cheerfruits, Exxon, Lisa, Michael, and Vi. Oh, that was my favorite part. Michael, who's, again, his only power is that he's blind and can only see reflected people, was fighting everyone by bashing him with his cane.
Was he?
Yeah, he was on top of V and just whacking people with his
like,
cans.
yeah,
Like,
whack,
hey,
whack.
get off.
Whack, no. Because Steel Alligator was doing some damage. Exxon touches Groot, and now he can also hammer people. And yeah, they get to Wraith. When they get closer to Wraith, all of the people are not able to use their powers, but Exxon is. He's able to use his powers, but he gets darkness blasted. And then while Lisa's struggling because she can't use her powers,
Or legs.
she hears a little sound like a pop, and then Michael hears a pop. I don't know if Steel Alligator heard a pop, but I'm just assuming too. And they're like, "Oh yeah, okay, we'll keep trying then." They zoom out, and that pop was Eleanor's back as Green
Hooray,
Lantern
yeah.
lady.
Yeah.
She's completely green, and Wraith had the
Feel
same.
my might, Green Lantern light.
And
That's how they got rid of the darkness. The Lantern Corps.
Thank you, Green Lantern, for helping us defeat the light.
and
A
Wraith
good cameo.
Wraith had a great question. He's like, wait, I thought I absorbed you and that you're dead. And she's like, no. That was the explanation. Just,
Like, nope, you
Nope.
did not. I'm still here, so you failed.
you did it. And the reason why your darkness isn't affecting any of me or my friends, and then they show like all these depressing scenes of each one of them, is because we already had darkness in our heart.
We've been in the darkness the entire time.
And because of our
We were
darkness,
born in it, molded by it.
we don't need your darkness.
Look at my friend. She was born in a wheelchair.
Because of that, the world starts to gain a little bit of light in. They realize that they can use their power in the light. Sayaka, which is one of the name of the Cheerfruits that we find out, her power is light.
And someone reflects light.
So,
reflected?
oh yeah, Steel Ruler decides to betray all the purple people and
For whatever reason.
throws out her metal thing closer to the light so it like reflects more. And Exxon says, "Oh, guess what? I'm not a reflected. That's why I can use my powers."
Since when were you under the impression that I was reflected?
Yeah. Which if we
But
think
then,
ab-
how did he get teleported?
it's like which if we think about, right? All the reflected people's powers are green except the Cheerfruits and Exxon. And
Cheerfruits had colors?
yellow for the light, and then purple wind and red fire, and Earthshaker was just the earth.
Did they have? I thought they didn't have green outlines.
I don't remember.
I don't think
I
they
don't-
ever mentioned it, honestly.
Like
I'm just saying
Volt
that-
only had blue because he was electricity.
Blue's a
Really,
color of purple. I just thought that maybe
That's
the
the
red.
dumbest shit I've heard.
I just thought red Exxon was like, oh, my power color has always been red for everything except the
doesn't go
water
red.
blade. Huh?
He doesn't go red.
He has red tape.
No, that's red tape. I guess.
But the fire and the water is the same color.
Yeah. Those are just things.
Yeah. And so,
He never
anyways,
took anyone else's powers.
he touches Wraith's foot and is like, touched ya. And then shoots darkness back at him.
And they have a darkness battle.
They have a darkness battle, Chuny battle. And the dragon's like, what the fuck is going on?
Listen, you guys clearly aren't ready yet. I'm
a bounce.
I'm out.
And for this reason, I'm out. And Wraith gets defeated. The world is saved. The darkness pyramid goes down. Everyone looks happy.
Eleanor comes back.
All the bad purple people get arrested, I guess.
And then Eleanor looks towards the sky, and there's a little green blob with purple things coming out
And
of
another reflection starts.
And
Reflection
Exxon-
part
yeah.
2.
it. Reflection Part 2.
And then
She's like, Exxon, what's
and then
that?
It's over.
Then it finishes. Sunshine,
end.
sunlight, sunshine, sunshine.
That's what happened.
I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, that was a jumble of mess, but that's how messy this anime was. So let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the rest of the show. All right, and we're back. We're going to keep this train moving since What Happened ended up running a little bit longer than usual. Our next...
How?
There's just so much to cover.
How?
So much shit to talk.
So we're going to move on straight into clickbait, which is what this anime felt like. They're like, Stan Lee? I like that. Superheroes? That sounds cool.
Excelsior.
I like that too. I'm gonna watch this. But clickbait segments, basically, if you've ever seen any streaming service where they give you a quick summary of the series to try to get you to watch it, we come up with our own because we noticed that certain streaming services
Don't care.
and the description is either of a different series or just plain bad. So this is our crack at it. Any of you guys want to particularly go first?
I don't know why you got to look at my things, man.
All right, we'll go.
I'll go
we'll with
first.
Walt
I got to
first.
go before Sigurd just in case he stole some of my ideas.
All right,
You're
but
going
then
last.
I will save myself for last. This is clickbait for the reflections with Wah.
If you like Marvel X-Men, then you'll love Stan Lee new and exciting with just an X. Superpower show, The Reflection. Join Eleanor and Exxon as they're going to give it to you in this action-packed series. Sky Show! I didn't know how to end it, so I had to end it like that.
Could you imagine if you just read the word Sky Show?
I thought about this singing the Sky Show
That
song, but I'm
black
like,
bouncer dude wrote this. He just had to get that Sky Show in.
I thought about it, but I was like, let's be somewhat creative.
No, it's pretty
but I
good.
did forgot how to end it.
I love that, as they couldn't give it to you. All right, so next clickbait is clickbait with Julian on The Reflections.
Have you heard of Sky Show? Of course you have. It was an amazing song from the 80s, a one-hit wonder. But do you recall whatever happened to the artist? Well, you can find out all about Ian Izzet when he triumphantly returns to center stage as Guy in a post-reflection world where bang babies are running amok and it's up to him to stop them and win the hearts of the people of LA and not New York.
And not New York.
I mean, he still won the...
No, he ditched him.
Well, they still love him. They're like, hey,
No.
yeah, you're cool, but why don't you save our city?
Bang,
Oh, well, I mean, I guess New York have all the superheroes.
Bang Babies was Static Shock, right?
It was
Yes.
DC, I guess.
Uh,
Yeah, definitely
Static-
Static Shock.
Yeah,
I
it was
see.
in Detroit.
All right,
Static Shock took place in Detroit?
yeah.
Why was he allowed to walk outside?
I kind of wish Eminem made a cameo or something. you
Sure
know?
he did. I love Static Shock.
Yeah, it was a good
Static
show.
Shock is my favorite DC hero, I'm pretty sure.
I would be hecka happy.
I hate DC, but I love Static Shock.
Yeah, if Static Shock got to be in the
Black Panther? You're asking too much, man. Static Shock made a guest appearance in Wakanda.
No, I was gonna say in the Justice League movie because it's a different cinema series, but yeah. All right, how about one of you guys introduce me in here?
This is Netflix with Sigurd.
Okay, well, this is
Netflix clickbait.
I didn't say Netflix at all. So I'm avoiding that word.
I forgot how it went.
I was just following along.
Okay.
This is clickbait on The Reflection with Sigurd.
Sigurd. Excelsior.
We need sunrise, sunlight, as darkness threatens to envelop the earth. It is up to an unlikely group consisting of a crippled track star, a neglected wife and daughter, a blind man, and Mega Man. Of reflected humans who have gained powers from a worldwide anomaly to battle a serial kidnapper before he summons darkness into the world.
Who's the neglected wife and daughter?
It's not a combo. The neglected wife was by, and
Well,
the
it was
neglected daughter was Eleanor.
Oh, okay.
I knew when I was writing it, I'm like, I didn't want to say a neglected wife, a neglected daughter. You know?
An abandoned daughter.
Yeah. But yeah, that's clickbait.
Oh, Tosin seemed to give her lots of attention.
Why?
Yeah.
He's too busy gambling.
No, after.
Well,
that.
I mean,
After
when
she
you lose
became-
his sight, like, did I win? Oh, I might as well just pay attention to my wife.
Yeah, not only that, maybe just like the feel of
I need a
steel leather.
caretaker. Steel leather.
Steel leather. So, we'll move right on along to discussion / ratings. Is there anything that you guys really want to particularly talk about in this series?
Well, I like how we always like how budget is consistent, and this one it's like consistently bad.
Like, I still think that this could have easily been an Adult Swim thing.
Like,
There's
I don't
so
think
many, like, the animation quality for Adult Swim shows is like all over the place, you know?
well, I mean, in a sense, what I'm saying about that is like there wasn't an episode that looked better than the other or looked worse.
Yeah,
it
not a
was
single one.
it was as constant.
No. So, as I was watching it, I thought, "Oh my god, this looks like a steaming pile of trash." And then as it went on, I was like, "I think I'm getting numb to the trash. This is all just whatever." And then like there would be scenes where I'm like, "Oh no, this is definitely still steaming."
My sister and I were dying at one scene where they're in a hotel room and Lisa's wheelchair is next to her bed. And I'm like, Amy, look at that wheelchair. She goes, that's a wheelchair? Because it was drawn so weird. It was like a 2D object in the... I don't know how to explain it. It just looked like a piece of the wall.
I was really upset about how there was like no shading.
Yeah, like the outlines of characters were bad. And like people were just debating whether this was to show the American collaboration of it. Like, oh, this is comic
That
style.
Americans
But
do things shitty like their cars.
well, no. But like even comics are drawn so much better than
Well,
what
yeah,
we
no,
saw.
I'm not sure if they're like going with an old school look of comics, but I mean, at least most comics have a sense of detail. The one thing that was detailed looked like they probably took a picture of it and put a bunch of like Photoshop filters in front of it.
That's what it
Like,
felt
I mean, like
yeah.
you can
They definitely did because you saw those Abercrombie and Fitch and
Popeye's
signs.
advertisement, yeah, and you're like, okay, yeah, we know those are places, but like one of the shots of the mansion just looked like a really plain house that some guy drew in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it did. The animation quality definitely didn't have much love.
Not only the art, but like the special effect were really bad. Like let's say when Exxon went Gear Third, or when he like made his when he made his arm big and punched someone.
when he folded
Dude,
that dude against the wall.
yeah, it was like
so
there was
flaccid.
just no impact or anything. It was just like pop,
Okay,
and then
to
the
be
guy just
fair,
went flying.
When he God fingered Eye Guy that one time, that was rad.
Yeah,
that was
pretty
that,
cool.
I mean that
He
episode
launched
was
him,
good.
like,
That
a
episode
mile.
was good, and I think that was the only
That
really
episode
good.
was good.
That fight scene.
I guess the episode was good because the way the old lady died too.
I kept laughing.
That was hilarious. Yeah, I
Just
lost my
half-
shit.
It was
dude.
like half drawn into, like, I'm sorry, Julian. Would you rather post, and like hate aside, right? Would you rather post art quality of the reflections in a group chat for a chuckle and say like, what is this, or Dragon Ball Super?
Dragon Ball Super.
So Dragon Ball Super is worse than the reflections to
It's
you.
like this,
still.
Sigurd. The difficulty of baking a potato is a lot less, isn't as hard to screw up as cooking a dish with several ingredients. You know?
Like carrot and
like you have an
veggie,
expectation with
Like
Dragon
no,
Ball.
like
Holes.
say
some Gohan.
no, say you're making spaghetti sauce.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta season it, you gotta do all that stuff. You know, you have to have the right tomatoes. You can't just be like using whole tomatoes and stuff.
Yeah.
But you get just point aside. But a baked potato is just heat it up until it's done.
Is
So
the
Dragon Ball
potato
Super is more like, oh man, I know what Goku looks like. And
That's
I've
the
known all
potato.
these years. No, Goku's not the potato.
Okay.
Goku has design. There's like things. There's like things that you can mess up. You know what I mean?
And they would mess it up.
Yeah, they would.
Okay,
But
the
the
reflections
reflection
was
is just
the
like,
potato.
you know,
you just had to bake it.
It's
There-
like
there aren't enough details to ruin.
you expected nothing and you were still disappointed.
So, character concept wise, the quote unquote design or anything, none of them look cool to you.
Guy reminded me a lot of a level 50 gear set in Final Fantasy.
I kind of felt MMORPG from him too.
Everyone else was terrible.
You
I
didn't
mean-
like Exxon?
No,
I mean,
No?
I feel like there was nothing really special about the character design. It was either copy from another character or rejected characters.
I think the Japanese girls probably looked the best.
Yeah, no, I
And then when
agree.
they were in their costumes, they looked even better.
Even better, yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Superpowers?
They're all pretty lame.
Well, I mean, they're all
I like
again,
Static Shock.
Bolt.
somewhat generic because you have teleportation, you got copy, you got sound wave. Like
I'm
for
really
multiple
upset
characters.
that Exxon just didn't take any of his homies' powers.
That's what I was saying the entire time. I'm like, dude, just touch everyone. What the heck?
Yeah,
It's-
like,
you're
yeah,
not
just touch them all, Harvey
you're,
Wine.
you're not rogue. God, like you're not rogue. You touching the person doesn't like kill them. So why not steal hella powers?
That's what people were speculating. They might say that he can only steal purple,
Unwilling.
like like purple people powers.
Why couldn't he steal Eleanor's powers then?
Eleanor
Or I mean, you mean
was both.
oh, actually, oh yeah. I guess we forgot to mention that she got hit with both light and purple, but they never really explained what that mean.
Yeah, how that
No.
brought her brother back to life.
Yeah,
Like,
They didn't explain a lot of stuff. Let's move past that.
I think the fact that they didn't explain a lot of stuff, but I mean, like, wouldn't the series be dragged out even more then if they did?
It already is being dragged out.
Yeah, it's
They
true.
definitely set up for a second season.
Oh, God. Yeah, I guess there isn't much redeeming. What about the soundtrack? It's usually the fallback that we get
It's
into.
terrible. I hate it all.
You hated.
I hated
You
everything.
hated Sky Show.
I hate Sky Show.
Well, like Trevor Horner is an actual music producer for the '80s, and he's the one that worked on the soundtrack.
That's cool. Hitler burned a bunch of Jews. I don't like him either.
either. I'm just.
I don't respect his art of killing.
I ended up liking Sky Show towards the end,
I hate it.
but like
I
Sky
can't
Show's
get it out of my head sometimes.
Sky
but I
Show's
hate
a
it.
3-minute song, and the other 2 minutes don't sound anything
Yeah,
like.
it has the big O going on.
Yeah, it definitely changes in movements.
well, I mean, if you actually listen to the lyrics of Sky Show, I feel like there's only like really 3 verses.
Yeah,
Like,
Sky
so-
Show lyrics suck ass.
Yeah, so it's just they kind of put on repeat and they put in different tones really.
yeah.
I mean the ending song wasn't too bad either.
I really liked the
but
ending
I
song.
always feel like I don't really like the ending songs to most anime just because
Yeah.
I know it's over.
Oh. My thing that I really appreciated about the ending anime was that they used like Bond-esque silhouette of because the Japanese girls were the ones who were singing the last.
Yeah, they
the
were
last song.
9-9.
Yeah,
the,
Wonder
the group.
9 became 9-9,
No,
which
just
is the
pronounce
actual
9.
artist. Yeah, 9. But their character models were the 4 magical girls.
That's why they look probably decent because they were based on people.
They could model it.
I don't
after
know.
someone.
Ian looked all right.
Ian looked.
He looked like
I,
he could have been handsome if he
I
had
really
more
thought Ian.
lines.
I thought Ian looked a lot like Solid Snake, and then
Yeah,
I
Snake Plissken.
Well, I
I
also
tried
think
to-
it was like Tony Stark with longer hair, really.
and I also tried to figure out did he exist? I couldn't find anything on
In the
him.
real world?
Yeah. I also tried to see if Sky Show was a real song, and they're like, no, the song was never popular, nor did it exist before this anime. But all right, yeah, I guess there isn't much for us to talk about with it then. If you guys have any questions, please email us at
Hey, where are our ratings though?
daijocrew@gmail.com about Sky Show or The Reflections, just because I mean we're not touching
Or
much
just
on
about
it.
anything, really.
Yeah. But okay, yeah, let's get into the ratings. This is when we give a rating of a good anime, a just anime, or banime, like it shouldn't even exist. It's a simple breakdown for it. let's get right into it. How about we go in the same order that we went with clickbait? What do you rate this?
Yeah, I would definitely give this a banime. There was no real Demu quality. I mean, the story was just really thrown out, like it was just randomness, and then the animation was bad.
Okay. Banime for Wa. What about you, Julian?
Clearly Banime. Come on. Dude.
What? No way.
Yeah, man.
Who would have thunk it?
I feel bad for all the Avatar and Ruby fans. I'm telling you, man. That something like this can be an anime, but they get their cartoon.
Yeah, they did get the cartoon tag. Yeah, this is an easily resounding banime for me.
Yeah,
as well.
woo! We
all agreed finally.
This is our first Banime.
This is our first banime.
Was
This
it? I felt like there was another.
I can't
one.
believe you guys didn't think Escryad was a bed shitter. Oh, not Escryad.
I'll say I like that Scryhead.
Oh, yeah.
Scar Rider
Rider
Zex.
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 Uh,
We didn't know. We were young. But yeah, no,
We
I
have
just
to go back and review all of our animes.
it surprises me that this was even streamed by Crunchyroll, or how this even got a green light. Like it kind of makes
because they
me
talked to Netflix.
yeah,
I
it kind
ju-
of makes me sad that Stan Lee has not really had any hits since his golden years with Marvel.
Well, what about Ultimo?
Was Ultimo received well? Because I don't think it
so.
was. Yeah, and that was Ultimo his doll thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw one manga. I bought it because I had hope when I was a child, and I was like, nah, this is weak Zatch Bell. I'm not down.
It's really weird. Yeah, I guess.
It's like Shaman King meets Zatch
Well,
Bell.
we can talk about something else later on.
All right. So, yeah, Banime. This shouldn't have
Banime.
existed. USA or
Number one.
no.
It's so
Sadly,
bad that
no.
it's not even considered a cartoon.
Yeah, they don't even want to
Americans
call it
shouldn't
cartoon.
try
They
helping
just-
with anime,
Yeah, they should just let it be.
except for one thing, maybe.
Ruby.
No.
All
It's
right.
not anime.
Toblerone.
Ooh,
Anyways,
relax.
so
When are we doing that one?
I don't know. You tell me. But
Do I get to pick next?
you do get to pick next.
Oh boy.
But we'll move right along to questions. We're just gonna stick to 2
When do we get to recommend stuff?
at the very end.
Man, I'm excited for that.
Well, this segment might fly by. Questions.
I doubt it.
I only have this one. Since Sky Show was a prolific theme of fighting for iGuy, what theme song would you want to play for yourself if you had to have a theme song every time you
Monochrome.
fought someone? Monochrome?
Yeah.
What's Monochrome?
from Star Driver.
Okay. Would you scream Vice before?
Oh hell yeah! What? I don't even transform.
You know,
You know, that's just the first thing that comes to mind. There might be a better choice out there.
anime convention wise, when I had to work, I used to have the Monochrome and the other Maiden's songs as part of the playlist, and I made sure every single time to scream Vice. This is usually during setup, and Wilson just looked at me weird, but like I was feeling it. I get it.
Yeah, I know you feel
Yeah.
it. I feel it. What about you all?
I keep forgetting the band name, but it's Welcome Home, the instrumental version. What?
Welcome home. Where's that from?
It's not from an anime. It's
Okay.
from a band. It's Canberra, and I keep forgetting the band name, but I want to play it. But I'm pretty sure we're going to get copyrighted
Yeah,
again.
we're not gonna
But,
play it. Well, I'm sorry.
No, I did really like the instrumental version. It's like dun dun dun.
You could definitely help all of the viewers and us learn the song by posting it on the Facebook page.
Sure,
You could give us
yeah.
a look at it.
I can just be like, hey, here's my
Yeah,
hero
here's your pick.
theme
Yeah,
song.
this is your fighting theme.
Yeah, sure. Well, when the time comes, we'll post that up.
For me, if I was about to start a fight kind of thing, I would love to have the Final Fantasy VIII opening theme. The one where Squall's fighting against Cypher.
I don't remember that.
Jesus.
I guess I know that one.
Oh yeah, no.
I'll tell you what to do. Like, I know. I don't know which one that is, but I know what it is.
Yeah, that song's freaking cool. All right, next question. Do you guys have any? I didn't see anything. You guys post any?
I definitely did inside the questions
Okay.
voice chat thing.
That's
Text
why we
channel.
made that whole section.
I'm gonna look at it real.
Pretty sure
quick.
Wah and I posted them.
Oh, look, there's the questions tab. And here we go.
Too
No,
bad
this
you
one's so boring. All right, this one doesn't even count. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? And I think we went over this one before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would go with time stop.
You said time stop. I think I said teleportation.
Oh, I wanted teleportation.
And I think you said that last time we did it too.
Yeah. All right, so so our answer didn't change, so we're good.
Wait, man, I'm Eleanor then?
Yep, basically.
No, you're the Allens.
You gonna die.
No. Rude. All right. Why is Stanley from Marvel so famous? Like, what did he exactly do? And then the question's like not even fully in here, man. Oh, okay. Did he create the characters or something? I need to know because my boyfriend loves Marvel and my friend's uncle is Stanley. Whoa. And
Whoa.
and if he is important or something, maybe they could meet. Okay.
Probably not the same Stan Lee.
Yeah, Stanley, he didn't by himself create all of the superheroes, but
It's
he
with
was
Jack Kirby, yeah.
Yeah, the two of them together kind of made these superheroes. Spider-Man being, I believe, the first.
Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, the Hulk, and I think X-Men were like the four that would kind of put him on the map, really.
Yeah, and with that, he created a franchise that thousands of nerds have loved ever since, and we've made a whole pop culture.
Thousands.
He was sort of the editor in chief, and I think he kind of embraced his love of comic and nerdiness that people recognize Stan Lee name more than Jack Kirby, because Jack Kirby all he kind of did was write and draw, but Stan Lee
Which
was
is
the one
what a comic is.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Stan Lee was the one that came out and was like, Excelsior, everyone, and they're like, yeah, you're cool.
Yeah, you're cool. You're one of us. Excelsior indeed. All right. Next question. Why does Batman not kill?
Batman doesn't kill.
This is a doozy. I really like Batman, but I hate the fact that he does not kill. I think that makes him a loser. People say that Batman does not kill because if he did, then he would become the very thing he's trying to stop. Killing is so wrong, so he would never succumb to that level. He does not believe in the end justifies the means. If the means themselves are immoral, I think that it is utter bullcrap. Killing is not wrong. Killing innocent people is killing. Oh, well, you went with the usual argument. Killing is killing and living is living. Killing is sad, but not wrong unless you are killing innocent civilians. So if the Joker kills thousands of innocent men, and if the Batman kills the Joker, he would still be a hero because he is killing the bad guy. By that logic, a soldier and a terrorist are the same. Both kill, but what makes soldier heroes is what they kill the bad guys. That's a bad
How
sentence.
is this question so long?
Someone once told me that Batman's not a
Holy crap,
soldier.
it's still going on?
So he has no authority
Is
or
this
right
the
to
first
kill.
question I posted?
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
I didn't read it at all.
Or right
I
to
just
kill
got
anyone.
sent text.
Well then, why even bother with becoming Batman if you can't take any action? As Hugo Strange says in Arkham City, that Batman has created more villains than he has stopped. He has created the environment that has led the plethora of villains to grow. All of Batman's villains won't
This is a
exist if
deep
Batman never
question.
did. I think Ra's al Ghul is better than Batman. I love the way this guy's flow of consciousness is coming out.
Oh, you got a lot to say.
Sure, his ways may be extreme, but at least he's getting something done. Ra's al Ghul is wrong, however, because he is just like, let's kill everything. Like in Batman Begins. He wants to destroy the whole of Gotham because it is rife with evil, but you cannot just kill everything bad. However, someone as well and crazy as the Joker must be killed. What are your views about this? I think so-called moral code is just an excuse by writers because otherwise the comics would be really boring.
So limited to 2, huh?
I love. What is it? What is the word I'm looking for? Catharsis through justice.
Catharsis through justice.
That, like if someone killed your dog,
Uh-huh.
you shot them in the head. I'd feel pretty good. I'd feel good. I like that.
You mean closure?
No,
Okay.
man. What? No, dude. Just bringing justice gives me an X on.
Okay, so
That's going to be a new
no, I'm just getting
Emphasis.
such an X on right now. No, so between Punisher and Batman,
Punisher sucks because Punisher's lame.
Well, I mean,
But I do respect that style.
Superman versus Batman.
there's been a common.
What is the question there?
So in
I don't like either of them.
I was like in the whole like Mortal Kombat video game. Which one's that one? What's his Batman?
Injustice?
Injustice. Superman killed the Joker, which is what made Batman go against Superman. That created their civil war.
You killed my friend, bro.
It's like, it's not your friend. He killed my baby, which is what happened. Joker kills
I'm
Lois
pretty
Lane's
sure
baby.
Batman killed Joker's baby. I mean, I'm pretty sure Superman killed his own baby.
Did he?
Yeah, no. So
Yes,
what?
he watched that.
What? No, what happened was
Hey, no. Answer the question. Who killed the baby? Who physically killed the baby?
Superman.
Oh, there we go.
Wait, physically, or was he tricked into killing it by the Joker?
He was tricked, but
Okay, thank you.
he put her into space.
Well, that sounds terrible.
Yes.
You shouldn't put humans up there.
Yeah, especially when they're pregnant.
So,
I guess.
anyways, so that's your view, right? Killing for justice
I
is
guess
okay.
I'm Superman.
I guess you're Superman.
Shit in my mouth.
Ew. What about you, Wall?
Yeah, I feel like it always go back because a lot of people always just say, like, why doesn't the Batman just become the Punisher for like one day and then there will be no more crime? I feel like in the comics or in the world of Gotham, the sense is like he's not a cop, like he's just doing it to sort of put fear into the criminal.
Fear that someone's not gonna
But
kill
like
me.
he
Ooh.
can't be the judge and executioner. He had to like actually go through the book because that's
after you get arrested like 12 times, you should probably just get death penalty right then and there and just get killed.
Yeah, apparently for some reason Gotham City doesn't have capital punishment, but Metropolis does for some reason.
Now, why is Lex Luthor not dead? Whatever.
Well, they put him on death row, but then he took
Why do you have to be on death row? Just kill him.
He used the power of money to get out of it.
Kill him.
no, he used his last meal request was a cocktail with superpower serum in it. So he had superpower to
This
escape
is
from
why
prison.
comics are stupid.
Why would you grant that? That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's also a misconceived notion. Some states have a limit to what you can pick for your last meal.
Yeah,
A lot of states actually.
Again, like they get complicated, but I feel like I think what I forgot who asked that question.
They
but,
never said their name.
Yeah, but what he was saying at the end is, in a comic sense, it would be kind of boring because with the Punisher,
The comics would end and we would get stories.
exactly
that are
because like
done.
what the Punisher does is he just kills.
Thinks about his family.
No,
family.
he just kills like mobs that don't really have a name. Like you're never going to see them reoccurring or anything. Like they're just
The
like
Wheeler Gang.
yeah, they're like, oh, I'm going to kill this Russian mob. Oh, I'm going to kill the Chinese mob and stuff like that. They're like, they have no name. They're like,
If I was a mob, then I would make sure that we get a name out there. As soon as he came down, he's like, "Who are you guys? We're the Wheeler Gang. You can't mess with us because we got a name.
we're the Daijo crew.
We're the Daijo crew."
I don't care if you have a name. I'll kill you. When I after I did my pacifist playthrough of Mankind Divided,
Yeah.
I started a new game, and anyone who called me a Hanser or a Clank was face down at the end of that conversation.
Oh
dude.
Lord.
But yeah, no, I mean, like with Batman, if you kill the Joker or like any of the other character, people would be like, oh, that was a cool character. I want to see more of him. And
No,
they're like, well, now we have to bring him back.
no.
It's okay. That's the whole reason why friggin' not Red Robin, but what's the masked one? one that's-
Red Hood.
Yeah, that's the whole reason why Red Hood exists, because he tells Batman, if you killed the Joker, I wouldn't be dead.
Pretty much.
Crazy and alive at the same time.
And also, Barbara would be able to walk, and a bunch of other people would live and not die horribly.
yeah.
Yeah, Batman's an asshole.
Yeah, I just think it's the whole American notion with a lot of series that they don't want it to end
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
dumbest thing.
ever.
I hate that.
They-
Kill
because
people.
it's-
Kill people now and end things.
It's their cash
they-
cow. Like, I mean, that's how they make the money. Like,
Yeah, but you could
if
just
you
make
have,
another
if you
story.
if you have Batman,
No, they need to reboot everything.
Reboot everything after you finish the
They need
story.
to make Death Notes.
Another
See,
Blade
Light
movie.
was right.
What?
Light's right.
About?
Light's killing people. Light's
Light
killing people
did-
left and right.
Light Yamagami did nothing wrong.
But Light Turner was a terrible human being.
Yeah, see, look at what the
Who
Americans did
no
with that
one
story.
understands.
They made a part 2. They left room for part 2. All right, let's
But yeah,
move.
no, especially with the Joker, yeah, you definitely need to kill that guy because
Yeah,
he's horrible.
He's absolutely terrible.
Like, there's no reason he should ever be.
I wouldn't
able
mind
to.
if you didn't kill him if you just cut off all his limbs and his tongue. That'd be cool
Jesus,
too.
No,
Yeah, man.
that's so morbid.
They cut off
So?
his face.
Just end him.
His face has no function.
Okay,
He can't
combo.
do stuff with his face.
Yes, you do. You do a lot of things in your face.
No. Can't. kill babies with your face?
Okay, Joker. I bet you he could.
Nah, man.
All right, I think we got.
All right, let's move on to recommendations.
Neuter him.
Oh yeah, because its offspring
this
always
is
in
not
trouble.
Sin City, okay?
I don't know what Sin City is.
Don't worry, it was a movie where a detective took away a rapist's weapons, both of them.
A rapist has 3 weapons.
Okay, anyway, so we'll move
4 if you
on
count
to
as tongue.
let's not. Let's move on to recommendations. Recommendations is now all right. We've debated whether we must stick only to anime, and
I'm doing anime. I'm always picking an anime, even though it's really hard.
there is a lot of media in which we can enjoy stories and stuff. So we're kind of, I guess, branching out. So don't hate on us too hard if it's not an anime. But recommendations is a segment where we recommend something that we had done with our time rather than watched the anime that we did watch. And we try to relate it to the anime that we did watch. So for me, I'm going to go first. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have already been on this hype train, but if you wanted to watch a reboot of an American style superhero-esque anime, Boku no Hero Academia is definitely the place to go.
What a cop out.
Yeah,
I
that's right.
disagree.
That's right.
This
As
is
the ending of the big 3 of the past 10 years has been Naruto, Bleach, One Piece. We're looking for the next big shonens, and right now Boku no Hero Academia is definitely making a case for itself
Green
with
Naruto?
lovable characters. Is Deku. Deku has a family. And he
know-
has friends.
you know, this I don't. I was thinking about recommending that, but I decided there's not enough discrimination in Boku no Hero. Everything is okay. It's all commonplace.
What do you mean discrimination?
Like how those reflecteds. You gotta,
Yeah.
everyone was like,
Yeah,
oh,
everyone was
reflecteds,
like,
ugh.
Oh,
Hey.
you want discrimination in your
yeah,
anime?
dude.
Okay.
That's why the anime
about-
I picked.
How about Stain? He's pretty discriminatory about who gets to be a hero, and
He's not discriminatory against superpowers though. Everyone has superpowers.
He's not.
not everyone has superpowers.
Dude, everyone has superpowers.
Okay, Deku was being slammed because he wasn't
Okay,
exhibiting
okay. Who
superpowers.
else? Who else you got?
But then he got
Name
the
an
power.
artist.
Do we
Everyone
have to go
appreciated
through
him.
the rest of the population?
Yeah,
that's
go
normies?
find someone. It's very
let me just-
rare.
Let me just blue skidoo right into the anime. Meet some people. I'll videotape them for you, Julian, and let you meet them, and then tell you how their life is. All right, but you were about to say the anime that you're recommending.
Because there is a lot of discrimination and what I would call superpowers, despite not having watched it myself, it was in my room very often, and my friends seemed to enjoy it. It was called
Idolmaster?
Nagi no Asakura.
I don't know this one.
It's a story about the fish people who are not fish people. They
Oh!
I'm like, why did that sound familiar?
The mermaid one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the mermaid. There was some discrimination.
there
Yeah,
was
no.
tons.
You're absolutely right. This is a great spin. That was a great anime.
Yeah, I know you guys
Wow.
liked it. I thought it was stupid and dumb
We
with their
cried.
stupid anti-fish people propaganda.
No, the second half got a little
Did you
weird.
say
when-
we cried?
Yeah, we
I
cried.
don't remember that.
All right, so hold on. Tell us what's Nagi no Asakura about?
It's a story about anti-fish people propaganda, and you can't have babies with the fishmen
Why would someone want to watch this?
because you like discrimination
Wow. All right.
and overcoming adversity. I guess I think the ending worked out all right.
There was-
I'm only telling the people to watch this because my friends enjoyed it, and my
was-
friends are real weeboos.
It was a beautiful love story.
Was it a love
It was,
story?
it was a
I
Yeah,
thought it was
kinda.
about
a
fermenting eggs or something.
semi fantasy or take on a
Not
slice
fermenting.
of
What
life.
was it? Fertilizing.
Fertilizing, yeah, I was
Fertilizing.
like-
Thank you. I was going to say that's gross. Between multiple love triangles, who deserves love,
It's
who
not
doesn't?
a triangle, man. It's a star.
It was a pentagram for sure. But
It's
yeah,
the Star of David, the like you
many
getting
points.
crossed.
but all right. How about you? Let's tie it all in.
Now,
Remember-
mine is another Stan Lee production called Hero Man.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I honestly, like, yeah, that one I actually watched to the fullest, and I really enjoyed it.
have
Hero
you
Man. I
not
have
heard-
never heard of it.
Really?
Yep.
Yo,
Oh.
it's just rad. I have
Yeah.
never watched it,
I-
but it's rad.
I believe it's on Crunchyroll, so if you have time, definitely recommend it because it's sort of like a kid kind of get bullied in high school, and then he come across this like giant. Well,
I think it's Giant Robo. I think it's basically like a reboot of Giant Robo, but not.
kind of it's interesting. It's like aliens just started invading, and he had the help of his robot to go and fight the aliens. It's pretty action packed and it's pretty cool. Like well animated too. I think Stan Lee had one cameo in the first episode. Of
course he
like
does.
he's just having coffee or something.
So is it there's some kind of law that the more Stan Lee is involved in this project, the crappier it becomes?
Yeah, just ask Jack Kirby.
I'm not sure if it's a proven law, but so far the evidence is weighing against it.
Could you imagine if like Jack Kirby's like, God damn, get out of the room, go excelsior
Excelsior!
someplace else.
I'll excelsior your wife, Jack Kirby.
I'm glad he's not here
He's
anymore.
gonna
else we'd get in
Excalibur his
trouble.
wife.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's going to be the end of the show. Thank you once again for joining us on the Daijou Crew, where we tell you what's happening with some bad anime. Next pick will be Julian. I'm not sure what you're looking forward to watching. On the My Anime Critic list, which is kind of where we generally look at to see what's not performing too well, the Reflections received a 4.62, which seems to be well deserved. So,
Still kind of high though.
so yeah, thanks for
I
joining
can
us.
tell
once
people
again.
gave it that rating after just starting it and seeing, oh god.
After hearing
They just
Sky Show
left.
for the first time.
No, they didn't get to Sky Show. They were like, what is this? I quit.
All right.
Signing off.
Signing off once again.
Excelsior.
Bye, true believers.
You've reached the end of this episode of the Daijou Crew. You can find the Daijou Crew on Facebook.com/Daijou Crew, on Twitter @Daijou Crew, or you can email them at daijoucrew@gmail.com. See you next time.